Hey, welcome everyone to today's live stream. We hope to be doing a lot more of these live streams where we're just doing some ridiculous random things. Today, Dr. Doug White and I are going to be building a computer, actually for one of our production engineers, Johnny. It'll be replacing like a 7 or 8 year old Mac Pro. And we thought we would live stream it. I do have to say, if you have questions, and we'll repeat this, throughout the live stream today. I do have my laptop here. I will be monitoring the Discord channel while I give Doug all of the difficult tasks during the build. No, I'm just kidding. I will be monitoring the Discord channel if anyone has questions, comments, things of that nature. Whether you've built a computer or 100 before or never have, hopefully you learned something today. I think the first thing that you should learn is that nothing goes as expected when you're building a computer.
Yes.
Case in point, pun intended. Case in point, I don't know if you can see it on the overhead shot. This case was now even more damaged than we realized even about 60 seconds ago in shipping, which I did not realize. And we do not have any other cases here in the studio, but we do have hammers and crowbars.
And wrecking bars.
And so one of the first things we have to do is reshape our PC case. Every PC build, Doug, has a certain personality to it, and this one, right from the get-go, is going to have its own.
It's got its own personality.
So, all the parts we ordered, we have a PC part picker list for everything that we ordered, and we'll go through it as we do it because I think Doug and I are kind of freaking out as to whether or not we're going to be able to get this motherboard in the case because the case is so damaged. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to try and fix this case. And get that out of the way because that's probably the first thing. We're going to
save the anti-static wrap for last because that's one of the most satisfying parts of building computers.
Yes,
peeling off
that film that comes on the glass.
The
this
film.
Is who makes this case? Is this a Cooler Master? Yes, a Cooler Master case, which I really like the Cooler Master cases. This is not the model that I really like. Because they were out of stock. And shipping
like everything else, out of stock.
Yeah, it was out of stock or it was going to take too long to
Never has more compromise been made on parts.
Now see, this has little rubber grommets so you don't lose those screws. So I'm going to take this off and I'm going to set it down. Careful where you put these, by the way.
Because no matter what you do, the little screws are getting lost.
Or someone will step on it and it'll break. We're not going to need that for a while, so that's why I'm putting it off to the side.
Probably not for a while. Maybe never.
Not for a while.
After we bang on it.
I do have to say, this is a really pretty case.
White's the new beige.
Yeah. I mean, when Doug and I get done banging out these dents, it might not be as pretty.
It ain't pretty no more.
It is a beautiful case.
White, it's very popular. I bought a white case.
You guys can see the top shot there. It's got the nice mesh grill on the front. All these pieces come off,
and it's got LEDs all in here, I'm sure, too. So
I believe
those are LED fans, yeah.
Those are what, like 120 millimeter? They are 120 millimeter fans.
There's 3 of them, so they probably have LED controllers.
My question, and we'll get to this too, Doug, is what direction are they blowing in? Are they sucking air in or are they blowing
air? Yeah, right. It's hard to say.
Now, all this stuff comes with these little like mesh pieces too.
Oh, that's a filter piece, yeah.
That's
where all the cat hair collects.
Yes, and cat hair or dog hair, right? Or ferret hair, whatever.
Whatever kind of hair.
Pet hair in general. Now, we don't have a clean shot. I don't know if you can see this dent. The case is pretty. We might have to take this over.
Take this. Okay. You got to take this panel off anyway.
Already, Doug's telling me what to do.
That's the way it works.
If this even comes out without some persuasion, it should. It should slide back.
It should be loose now.
Oh dear. But maybe pull on the.
Let's try to get it right. I don't know which way it goes.
Maybe if it's.
I think
it was.
It's really trashed.
Who did the inspection on when this thing came?
I think it got shipping.
That was me.
Oh, it's actually caught up there. Yeah, that's why. See those seams at the top. It's still got one caught over there.
Oh
It may never go back
it's
together.
So bent. There it is. So we're gonna put that one underneath a steamroller outside to get that back into place. I'm going to move these cables out of the way because we're going to be swinging stuff.
Let's see here.
I think it's salvageable though.
It's just a case.
We're gonna,
as long as the motherboard will go in.
Doug and I were actually sharing stories of, very briefly how we've had to take hammers and pry bars and saws to cases, and we both have stories.
Cut holes in them.
Yeah, I've cut holes in them.
Okay, I'm gonna.
I've taken the Sawzall to quite a few cases actually.
Boy, oh boy.
Wow, it really got more damage than I thought.
It's pretty stiff, so I'm not sure I can bend it. I don't think I can bend it.
Let's
you might
have
have
run
to
these cables up this way so they're out of the way.
Maybe flip it up this way and see if we can push onto the hammer.
What I was thinking of doing is, like, can I get this hammer? If I put this hammer in, like here.
Yeah, I think you can tap
and
on
then
it with the.
If you want to hold the case.
All right, I'll take the risk.
Watch your groin. It's getting there.
He ain't pretty no more.
It's getting there.
Yeah, you straighten it a little bit.
I mean, if we straighten it out enough to put the power supply back in, this needs to be flattened too.
I like this heavy equipment.
Yeah, now Doug's got the pry bar going. It's a good thought. I can hammer it more, Doug. Hold on. I can come from this angle too. Now I feel like I'm making love to it. It likes me already.
In some places, you'd be married now.
It's really.
Oh yeah, this is. Can you get one right there?
Yeah.
If you can get one on that little foot right there. See that little black foot?
Yeah.
Try that one because that one's really elevated. There
What
you
is
go.
that? What is that little button?
Well, that's where the power supply sits on those little buttons.
Yeah.
That's like the shock absorber.
It should go in though, no?
It'll work.
I was hammering so much my earpiece came out.
Make it fit.
We might need to hammer. Not necessarily the order I like to do things in, but wait, would the power supply? How do you? Oh, the power supply goes in this way.
Put it.
I got you. But it's
really raunchy. I think it'll go in there though now.
Yeah.
I think when you get in there, the power supply is just going to be forced in. Yeah.
My next concern is
the motherboard.
The motherboard, because one of those posts is really sticking up.
This one.
I mean, you can lose one post when you mount a motherboard. I mean, I've used
this. You may want to tap right there.
You really only need 4.
Oh yeah, I never do, especially when you're first building it, because you may have to take it all back out again.
Well, we hope not. But.
Yeah, but you never know. There you go. Look at that.
Yeah, no,
it's like magic. The smooth tones.
This is.
I love the
really
digital world. Subtle and precision. Hand me that wrecking bar.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm not worried about this part sticking out.
I think it's okay now.
No one's going to see that anyway.
I think it's okay. Well, yeah, nobody's going to see it. It doesn't matter what it looks like.
That might, I mean...
This is like Mythbusters now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my God.
The post is still a little crooked, but we can...
Yeah, these are all slanted. So.
Yeah. Let me hit this one down.
Which could be bad if it caused your motherboard to bend right there.
That's exactly where I was going, Doug.
You bend those traces and your life is over.
Well, we don't want to short either.
Yep. And if you bend the traces, it changes the resistance on them, so then it causes problems.
So we'll seat the motherboard in, Doug, and see how it...
I think that's a good idea.
That one's a little crooked still.
It's very satisfying to beat on these cases.
Yes, it gets out your frustration.
Yeah. Get some. Get some.
All right, I think that might be the best I can get it for right now.
All right, let's leave it at that.
That post is still really... The more I bang on it, the more crooked it gets, so...
Let's see if you can bang it from this side. Ooh, what if you took this side and you pushed down a little bit?
On
like right there a little bit.
Flattening.
Yeah, that's definitely an improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we might be all right now.
That might have made some positive...
We may have to take a post screw out.
Move. Yeah, that one may have to be missing.
Yeah. That's okay, though.
Pencil eraser.
That works too.
They work.
Non-conductive material.
I've super glued pencil erasers to many a
Right.
motherboard when the post didn't work. Yeah, I might just
Now-
take that post out right away.
Now see, I thought we were going to be debating on what the first step was. The first step was to beat our case with
Beat
a
the
hammer.
hell out of the case.
Oh, look at you with your fancy little tweezer things, huh?
Hemostats. Surgical clamps.
Clamp,
Yep.
scalpel.
Sweat wipe. They probably have a fancy term for that.
They probably do.
All right, so I am taking this offset post out right now because that post is so bent. There is no way that the motherboard is going to sit on that post effectively. So I just took this little post right out. There it is. It's been extracted.
Another tip: don't inhale cigar smoke while you're building cigars either.
And here's your culprit. And now that this has been removed, it won't hurt so bad when you pee.
We removed the kidney stone. What was I going to say? I was going to say something.
Okay, now we have to decide on the first steps.
I was going to ask if you needed more light.
Oh, no.
So, I have this
you
little
have super light.
flashlight, But look.
Oh, and I have my super cool nerd goggles. Yeah, so they have like
nerd goggles. That's a technical term.
that's the technical term for these. Except they're kind of out of adjustment, I think.
Oh, I was muted. Sorry. So I have the my flashlight with the magnet on it too. I like to use that in there.
Yeah. Okay, that looks better already. It's like orthopedic surgery with the chisel.
But what I've done and made this mistake so many times is I put the motherboard in because I get excited, and then I forget to put the cooler on it because the cooler has to go through.
Everybody's done that. Yeah. So you got to open your cooler first.
This one looks like it has. Would the cooler? No, the cooler's going to sit on this side.
Well, you need the. No, that's where the CPU
No?
will be.
Is
the
it?
CPU will be right here. Yeah.
It will. Okay.
On that gap. So you need that back plate from the cooler because that is the thing everybody forgets, and you have to put that on
I forget
first.
that so often.
Before you get carried away, you get that out and put that on the motherboard. Sometimes they fit without this mod, but usually not.
Your mileage will vary.
Yeah. So this is an Intel
Yes.
CPU that we're using. That's a Rocket Lake 11 Gen i9. So it's a really easy CPU to deal with. No
Unlike
pins.
AMD.
Well, there's no pins, so when you put these in, they're a lot simpler to put on the motherboard than the ones that have all the pins, because if you bend the pins, you're screwed.
So there's no. I haven't done an Intel latest.
Yeah, it
gen
just lays
builds
in there. It's very easy.
recently. Interesting.
But it's always tricky to figure out which way it should go.
Yes.
All right.
What are we unboxing first?
Cooler.
All right.
Well, I always do the cooler first. Or you can do the power supply. So sometimes I put power supply in first, but because of the nature of this case, I probably wouldn't. Because the only reason I put power supply in first is because it's heavy. And if I drop it and the motherboard's in there, the motherboard will be destroyed.
Right.
So putting the power supply in, but this case is a little different because it's got a cage for the power supply. So I would prefer to get
It's a fancy case.
Yeah, I would prefer to get the
Oh, so this, have you used these before?
I
This
have.
one? Master Cooler Liquid ML240L. The 240 is the size of the fans. And is there a pump?
yeah.
There's a pump.
So there's a pump
right?
in this little this block, this
Because
cooling
Adrian was
block.
telling me his laptops just use like the heat induction.
This has got a pump.
This is a
in it.
pump.
Yeah, it actually has.
So
a pump,
pumps liquid over the CPU. The warmer liquid goes into the radiator.
Yeah.
The fans suck the heat off the radiator, and then the cooler
Right.
liquid goes back over the CPU.
And you actually want the fans to suck in.
The fans to suck in
So
on the
this
radiator.
goes here.
No,
Oh, it doesn't.
it goes on the top.
In the
Yeah.
top. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's on the
I
front.
always have it blowing out.
No, you suck it in from
Why?
the top. You want the cool air coming through it from the.
But isn't it warmer air that comes off the cooler? The radiator?
Yeah, but it'll go out these fans. It'll go out
Oh.
elsewhere because you want the ambient temperature to come in, because if you're blowing out, you're not ever getting any cool. You're relying on all these other places to get cool air.
I usually have these blow in, and the radiator fans blow out.
That'll work.
Yeah.
You just got to think about your airflow.
Yes.
Who's sucking and who's blowing. And
She went from suck to blow.
yeah, but you really want both at the same time. So,
And these are, I did a build in 2001 with a liquid cooler on it. And Doug's looking at me because, you know, if you built a computer in 2001 with a liquid
cooling,
it leaks like a sieve.
Yeah.
And it worked great for a little while, and then it leaked.
Yeah, for about a week, maybe.
Yeah.
I think I got one to run for a week.
Then I
before
just
it
put the
started
regular
dripping,
cooler on it.
And it was like, you know, I should have just put the whole thing in an aquarium, and it would have been the same difference. So when you take these things out, a couple things to think about is be very careful about this stuff, because you don't want to touch your plate. Because if you get fingerprints and things on it, you're gonna have a big problem.
Really?
Any little
fingerprint?
Yeah. I mean, now I will tell you, I learned about this from somebody who was very meticulous, and so in the old days we used to sand these. So we actually sanded these things with 1,000 grit sandpaper to make them until they look. You had to sand it till it looked like a mirror.
Wow.
If you couldn't see your face in it, it wasn't ready, and then you had to do it again. So that was Lou's heat sinking process, which was very arduous.
Lots of parts here. You end up with lots
of pieces for everything.
Unlike when you put something from IKEA together where you shouldn't have any extra parts, when you build a computer, you end up with lots of extra parts.
You have a lot of extra parts. So it's
I keep those usually in the motherboard box, and I keep the motherboard box so I know that like that build went with. That's the only box I keep.
I always keep the motherboard box because that's where I put all the pieces. Yep. And I put all the extra little things that went with that all the other back plates or anything like that. So you got your big fans.
You got instructions. You're going to need if you're the kind of person that doesn't like reading instructions, you may want to reconsider your strategy. I don't know if you guys can see. I don't know which camera we're on, but if you like, this tells you based on which processor you have what little bits and components.
Yeah. No words. Yes. So yeah, you got to put those fans on.
You can mount the fan. I'm going to see what's going on in Discord for a moment.
One other thing I like, you go do that. One other thing I like to check before I get too carried away is that this is going to fit, and if I can break it, it's even better. And it should be fine. This is a very big case for this fan, so it's going to be no problem. All right.
See, I know it'll fit because I've used similar cases and liquid coolers in the past.
Well, these little 2-fan ones are really easy because they'll fit in most anything. It's the bigger 3-fan models that are harder to deal with.
Or if you're trying to liquid cool more than just your CPU, right?
And if you're trying to understand your fans, if you're lucky, they have an indicator on them to tell you which way they blow. But this one,
they? Yeah,
they often have a little arrow on them, but this one does not.
This is why you put your power supply in first.
Well, yeah,
so
then you can
power your fans on.
You could power the fan up if you wanted to.
All right, I gotta make some.
All right, you go ahead and check your Discord.
Yeah.
So the blades are tilted.
Where do you want these parts temporarily, though? I hate.
Here, let me have parts.
This. That was from the case too.
Okay, I'm going to put them right over here.
All right.
Just put them right there out of the way. This is
all. I don't know if we'll need that. I think that's just for
random
AMD
things that you're going to need. Where were the back plates for the cooler? That's the thing we need.
Back plates for the cooler.
So there's a back plate that this attaches to. Somewhere.
That's that's everything that came with the.
Okay, here we go.
The stuff and the thing.
You got to figure out which one of these you want to use because, you have to apply your cooling gel on this one too. It's not a patch.
Cooling gel.
Fancy.
No, that's thermal paste.
Gel. Your thermal paste. You call it whatever you want to call it.
I call it the right name. It's thermal paste.
Cooling and soothing gel.
That's something completely different, Doug.
I usually rub it on. If I get a rash, I rub it on there.
Does thermal paste work for a rash?
This is a 2066, right? Is that what this is? I think.
A what?
This is a 2066 processor?
Nope. LGA 1200. Is that what you're looking for?
It's an LGA 1200, okay.
LGA 1200.
So, the one we're looking for.
Let's see how everyone's making fun of us, because we deserve to be made fun of right now, I feel like.
Probably.
Where does she have the live streams? Hey, look at that. Good job, Sam.
It's 1366. So we're going to want to mount these fans on our cooler.
Someone suggested a hydraulic ram kit, Dimitri. That's not a bad idea, actually. And there's all kinds of animated GIFs of MacGyver and people with sledgehammers.
We've been missing out on all the fun.
Yep, build is destined for great things when there are already claw hammers out before most of the gear is even unwrapped.
That's right. We haven't we hadn't opened anything, and we're already beating on it with a claw hammer.
That's good.
Just trying to make sure they didn't bother to tell us which way these fans move. All right, well, we'll just have to wing it. You want it to blow?
You know what you can do is you can put one way and one the other way. But on the radiator, though, you want them pulling in the same direction.
They don't have to be. As long as there's airflow, you'll be fine. I mean, you could do in and out. You could do all kinds of stuff, and I'm sure there's people that get in arguments in bars about which ones are better.
Right.
At least the kind of bars we go to.
Very true.
Like, you know, this Hell's Angels are arguing about.
Like, I always wondered, like, does it say which direction the fan
Well, like I
should be
say,
in?
most fans have a little indicator on them, but these do not, that I can see. You may want to look, because maybe I'm not seeing them, but I am not seeing them.
Like,
All right. So I'm guessing. Let's think about this.
Like the only thing the instructions say is, as a result of bubbles in the coolant, you might hear sounds coming from your cooler on the first run. It actually says this, I quote, just chill out for 15 minutes and the sounds will disappear.
So if it's like this.
So, you know, I mean, just get ready. Doug and I are going to chill out for 15 minutes.
And you want it to blow out. So I think it goes like this. I think that if it's turning like that, it should be blowing that way. So that's my suspicion.
How do you know that's the direction it turns?
Look at the blades. If you just imagine the physics of the airflow through this turbine.
I'm imagining.
So it's scooping up the air, right? And it's pushing it that way.
Yes, it would push it that way.
Yeah,
correct.
So this if you want
and you want to face these into.
If you want it to blow out, then this.
You want to face these into the case?
I do them the other way. I have them draw air through the radiator instead of pushing air through the radiator. Because if you're pushing through the radiator from inside the case, you're getting hotter air going through the radiator.
Right. So but the radiator mounts to the case, and the fans
so you want
mount
the
to
cool air coming in from the outside, getting sucked into the case through the radiator. So yeah, you're getting
your air is cooler.
You're getting hotter air in the case, but you're getting cooler air in the radiator.
You're drawing cooler air from the outside. Yeah. I gotcha. But then we got to figure out whether these fans are what
sucking
direction,
or blowing.
Sucking or blowing.
Not that it matters. You got plenty of exits for this air. So
oh my God, yeah, these cases are ridiculous.
It's mesh all around.
So one thing the reviewers did say.
What does the board say? Are they saying suck or blow?
I don't know.
You got all these experts there watching, giving criticism. So let's get some real criticism from them.
I need coffee.
And then let's see. I got to think about how this thing is going to go. So it's going to be like this. And if I'm doing it like this, because one of the problems I've run into with these things that is where these go. I think I want them to go up.
Yeah.
I want them to go up.
Yeah, what Doug's talking about is the cable management.
For your fans.
For your fans.
To connect all this to the motherboard, when the motherboard's sitting right here, you can have a bit of a problem if you got cables that go down against the motherboard.
Right.
So I'm going to try to put them up on the top. So if I put my two fans like this right here, can they see this? Oh yeah, they can see. So I'm doing them like this with the fan cables on the top. Now these are going to suck, not blow. So
right,
it's your last chance, because once you put this in there, you're not going to be able to take it out very easily.
I mean, it's easily 16 screws. We're pretty close.
Well, you can take it out, but then you have to take the whole motherboard out usually. Yeah. Maybe not in this case.
Not in this
I think
case.
it's deep enough.
I order bigger cases because
I order really big cases. I get the full towers and the
full tower.
Yeah, oversized, because I don't like to fool with it. So now we need to attach these fans to our radiator. So we got to figure out which screws on Mr. Guidebook go to that. And yes, I do occasionally read guides. Occasionally. And let's see.
This part,
the
sure.
F-size screw. So that is something here. Mr. F screw. Is it that one? I don't think it's that one.
Need the F and screw.
Yeah, there will probably be some swearing later. Ooh, I think it's these.
See, but now I can see this at an angle, Doug. There's definitely
serious warpage.
Serious. Like, I don't know that the power supply is going to...
You don't think so? Well, maybe we should try that right now.
Yeah, I can do that while you do that.
Now, I will warn you, don't drop power supplies. Even in the box, if you drop them, a lot of times they quit working.
Really?
Yeah, not that I ever did that.
It sounds like you've done that though.
So is it this? Oh, it's this. I got it. So all I'm doing, if you're paying attention, if you're playing along at home, is I'm putting these long screws in the fans on the radiator so that my fans will be attached. So if I accidentally
see,
knock
Schmooze
this
is saying
thing
definitely sucking. I don't know.
I've got them, I think.
But then he linked to a video that doesn't look like it's related to building computers, so I'm not sure what.
Well, I just didn't know.
What is this video? What is this?
Oh, it's some kind of car thing, yeah? It's like a carburetor. It's a Holly carburetor.
Oh, all it is a video of two girls standing near a car saying the word sucking. It's a 2-second video.
Foreign pornography is so weird.
I don't understand why they give you the bags, though. I don't understand. Like,
I mean, if you want to be cool at the bar, you have to wear this on your belt. I mean, this is when you go to the bar and you got an EVGA on your belt. You know, it's like the Met Gala. I mean,
dude, what is this for? To put the extra cables in?
To put all your modular cables in.
I put them back in the motherboard box, like we said.
You could put them in here and then put them in the motherboard box, or you could carry this to the club, or you can use it for all kinds of stuff.
Just get out of here. Need no stinking bag for my cables.
Paul, the manly cable guy.
I just throw them all in the motherboard box.
Yeah, never use them again.
What is that?
Oh,
is it an extender for
Be careful.
I don't know. I'm gonna save it.
It's a Horcrux.
I'm gonna save it though, because like you never know what you might need when you do a build.
These are really nice screws because they actually have thumb screws, so
You can get them
I know
started.
you can't probably see that, but they are very handy because
Now, do you use your thumbs with thumb screws?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I can just use my
checking.
thumbs to close. And I
And now understand, the power supply comes in its own other little bag. Like,
I'm telling you, man, you just don't understand You don't understand computer tech fashion stuff.
just
like
it's unnecessary.
you'd go out dressed in a burlap sack.
Maybe.
Where's Mr. Blackwell?
Maybe.
See, I'm more the top hat and a cane kind of person. So now, where this attaches, we got to remove another one of these. And these are nice because they're magnetized. So
Yes.
these little filters are magnetized, and they do soak up a lot of cat hair, dog hair, and or any other sort of hair that is being sprayed about. I'm suspicious that I can mount this on this little rail right here, and I probably want to mount it. One thing you always want to do is just sort of consider your pipe, your tubes, because how flexible are they, and where is it going to go on your motherboard? Now, this motherboard this case seems to have a lot of flexibility around where you might position this, and you got to think about how am I going to get that to fit right there, because that's where the CPU is going to be sitting. So I got to be a little bit cautious.
So you want to go that way, or you want to go the other way?
Well, I think the other way is going to be really tricky. So I'm thinking it's probably going to sit like this right here. That actually looks pretty good, that little bend in it.
You're going to bend it that much?
Well, yeah, the other way it's going to be worse. I mean, if it's going like this.
What if you come the other way, though? What if you flip it?
You mean turn this whole thing over? Like this?
Yeah.
That might work. Let's see. I don't know. No, I don't think so. I think that's going to be a disaster.
That might be worse, right?
Much worse. Very disastrous. Yeah, I think I'm sticking with my original plan. I'm kind of on board with this one. I don't think that bend's not going to hurt anything.
No.
Okay, so we got that set up. So we have an idea.
Let's see if I can get this fucking power supply.
All right, so I think the time has come
I'm already
to see.
cursing.
Yeah, already cursing.
Oh, no, yeah, it's good. It's like it's bent, so I might even need screws to hold it in.
Here, I recommend taking this, give it a few good shots to hold it in there.
Oh, but wait, where are the? Oh, I see.
You're going to screw it in back here.
Does it matter which way?
It does. I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't really, but
see, but it's not lining up with the screw holes. You know what I'm saying?
Then
we got to do some more banging on the case.
Maybe able
Doug.
to push down on it some.
Yeah, I think we need to do some more banging on it.
Oh boy!
Yeah. One of these tabs is bent
later.
too.
As ever, I thought this will take 30 minutes. but it won't.
All right.
But it's funny.
Yeah, we need to do some more flattening.
Flattening.
Yes, flattening.
Like I say, be careful about dropping these things, because if you do drop them, they're not going to work. I have dropped a few.
Yeah.
And I was sorry, because then I had to buy another power supply. Are you going to bang some more?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to because
Okay. I'll brace the world.
It fits, but the holes don't line up.
Hang on. I don't want to put any pressure on this.
let's-
You got cables that you're about to cut in two. All right, now go ahead.
I'm also doing my part to make sure this case turns brown from cigar smoke.
Oh, it'll turn brown, yeah. My white case is already brown. It's like,
And you got it last week.
yeah, it's already burnt umber colored. Woo, you got a good one there. Wow. The case just said,
Stop disagreeing with me.
you bend me, I bend back.
Fucker. Oh, there we go. No, I got it now.
Yeah, you
I got it now. Yes. Now I want to
Stay.
get the I want to get the power supply in before it bends back.
Oh my God.
But for that we need the screws for
The power supply screws,
which
Those are
come
easy.
with the case,
Yeah,
right?
those are usually just about any kind of old screws you want to use will fit power supplies. Somewhere.
Oh, is one on the floor right here?
Could be. Are those? Those are pretty small for power supplies.
There's 4 of them though.
Let's see here. I got them. I found them.
My earpiece will not stay in either.
The biggest gripe I have here is all the screws and stuff are black, which makes them very difficult to see. I realize they're super stylish and everything, but here's our little packet of happy little screws, of which anybody who builds very many computers will end up with 100 cigar boxes full of little screws. And amazingly, I opened this and it didn't go everywhere.
Some of those have to be power supply screws.
They are. I will help you sort them out here. What I'm going to do is...
Oh yeah, it's totally going to fit now.
Cool.
I don't know if the case is going to sit level, but
An
it's going to
important
fit.
component of all builds.
Oh yes, we need
An ashtray.
An ashtray.
Because you will need an ashtray.
Just don't ash in it.
Don't ash in it, and I'm going to pick out some power supply screws here, that at least ones that look like power supply screws, and we will quickly check to see if they are indeed. And I'm going to really try. I know you can't see what I'm doing. I'll move it over here. I'm just checking my screws here to see if this is actually the power supply screws, or if those are too big, which they might be.
Yeah, those look kind of big for that. These look like the motherboard.
Well, they're usually the same ones.
They usually are.
Okay. I think these are okay.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. There's something here that'll work. There's just 2 sizes here, and one size is really, really teeny. I don't even know what those are for. There might be 2 sizes of these, though. But that one
They
works.
don't screw down very far, though.
Oh, they're supposed to be tight. You have to, when you put them in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. You don't want your power supply.
So if you want to put it in there, you can. I usually put mine in first just because I'm afraid I'm going to damage it. But then the downside to putting it in first is then the case becomes exceedingly heavy very quickly.
Right.
Now I may need to.
I'm gonna flip it.
Oh my God!
Flip it this way.
I may have to.
Yeah. We can get these to line up now.
All right.
I need a screwdriver. Screwdriver.
Hang on a second. My volume went on like max. You probably want a little bit bigger screwdriver than that. Let's try this one.
Definitely use the right size bits on your screwdriver too.
Yeah, you don't want to strip screws out too much. So you got one.
And definitely magnetic.
Yes.
I'm a huge fan when doing this,
Especially
especially.
used to people were so paranoid about that. I think it just popped again.
It did, but that actually helped me.
Oh, it did. Okay.
Is that the? I can't see the hole. Hole's not
Must not
lining up.
comment.
No, I think it needs to flip the other.
Is it the other way around?
It might be the other way around.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's flip it over.
It's always,
no, the fan's gotta go on the
fan's got to
bottom.
be on the bottom, so it's supposed to be like
It's
this.
supposed to be like that.
It's supposed to be that way. You always want your fan closest to the vent.
I see. I see.
If you could get two screws,
I thought
get 2 screw holes in there, you're gonna be good to go.
You think so?
Yeah, unless you're planning on transporting this thing in a truck or
Oh
something.
no, wait. No, I see it now.
Okay.
I see it now. This one? Is that a? That's a
There
thing,
you
right?
go.
That's a thing.
Got it.
Yep.
In fact, 1 screw, you're probably good.
Yeah, really, because there's not a lot of stress.
I mean, if you're
on
not
them.
moving these things around much, they're going to be okay. I mean, I usually don't put...
I got 2 corners in, so I mean that's more than enough.
I mean, some people can't stand it, you know, that they don't have all the things just proper, but it doesn't bother me, and I'll never look at it again until I take this computer apart.
This one just seems like it's spinning, though. I don't know. It tightened. No, it tightened.
You
I
got
got it.
So the bottom of this is pretty warped.
So I got
but-
one. Yeah, that's. I can get 1 more screw
Okay.
in there, though.
Yeah.
I'm
One
good
more?
with 3. I
Woo-hoo.
mean, 3 is like even 1 more than you really need.
A practical luxury.
That one actually fit, despite our case being the most warped I might have ever seen.
Definitely a damaged case. I've
for a
seen
new-
some that were this
yeah.
bad, but this is pretty bad.
Be pretty impressive
But
if we
we're-
get it to work.
yeah.
I don't know. We're not gonna need any more screws. I mean,
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine too. I could get, putting 1 more might actually help the structural integrity
It's
of
an
the.
OCD test. It's like, can you stand it, or can you, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good, but
No, that's not. I'm not going to force it.
Okay.
All right, we're good.
I know what it would be like with Lou. We'd be
Power-
here. We'd be
we'd be
here
here
all
for
day
hours,
till it was
right.
till all 4 screws are in there just perfectly. We'd have to take it all back apart several times. One other thing to be careful about: you got all these wires. Be careful you don't set the edge of your case down when you flip a case on its side, because you can cut these wires pretty fast into.
The edges are sharp. We're taking bets on who's going to be the first to bleed in this process.
I'm actually pretty good at not bleeding in case in computer assembly.
no,
I have
I
bled.
bleed.
I've bled many
Yeah.
times, but I'm not the worst. We need Lou, because Lou had blood pressure medication, so when he got cut even the tiniest bit, he bled like,
all over the place.
it looked like you cut his jugular vein, and there's just blood dripping all over the case. So
All
we had
right.
quite a few of this. All right.
What are we
Good.
going to do next?
All right, let's flip this back down. And we got the power supply in. It went. The
good.
next test, as far as I'm concerned, would be most likely to either put the cooler in and get it mounted on the case, which is not that hard to do, or to test the motherboard to see if it's going to fit. Now, normally I would say test the motherboard to see if it's going to fit, but I think it's okay. I mean, the things are pretty standardized now, so it might be easiest to put this in next and get it, because it'll be harder to put this in with the motherboard in place, although not really. You could probably put that in with the motherboard in there. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. All right.
Yeah, I'd say let's get those.
Again, my only concern is if you drop that, you drop it on the motherboard, it's always bad. And the motherboard's your most expensive thing here for the most part. So,
Oh yeah, Dimitri's telling us those cables don't go through the big hole. Obviously, they go through these.
they do not. I
go
was
through the
just
grommets,
tucking
yeah.
them through there to keep them out of the way. It's a great point, Dimitri. There's
it's
if you have
grommets.
cable management ports here that you're going to pull all this stuff through, and your power supply cables are going to come around
Right.
somewhere. But I was just because this is where the CPU of the motherboard is going to sit right down on there. But I was just tucking them in there so I wouldn't cut them when I laid the case down. So let's here. I think you should open this.
Oh,
the
I
Asus
should
Prime.
do the honors. Hey, my
think you should
trusty
open it.
pocket knife.
And let's if you'll find that the motherboard's broken in.
No, I think it was just the case came in a separate, delivery.
They dropped the case box on the
Yeah.
motherboard box.
It's pretty. Now, I spent a little more on the motherboard than you can, because this is the Z590. Did I get that right? Is it Z590?
It is a Z590
chipset. I haven't dug into like all the nitty gritty details on the chipsets. You know what I'm saying?
Uh huh.
But there's like, for each processor family, motherboards have different chipsets, and those chipsets relate to like the different buses, your overclocking ability,
those
kinds of things.
They do. So the
So
flexibility.
I
of the
went
chipset.
with the latest and greatest highest. You basically Google search them and tell you which one is the latest and greatest.
That's what I suggest is Google search the chipset the motherboard has and see if there are known issues.
There's B series, there's like a B470, there's all different ones. They're different from AMD to Intel, So
the single most dangerous thing that exists in building computers is this little thing right here. And this is called a bezel, if you don't know.
Oh, and that's the part I always forget to put in.
Yeah, and if you forget it, it won't cause the end of the world, theoretically.
But you have to put it in before you put your motherboard in.
You have to put it in because the motherboard actually seats against it.
Right.
And this thing is typically razor sharp. So the edges inside the case right here are often sharp, and one of the things you'll always see me do when I'm building computers is I run my fingers around it, and they go, oh no, it is sharp. But to see just how sharp these things are, because when you start sticking...
How sharp is it, Doug?
If we had a prop set up, I'd have my fingertips drop off. There you go. Not too bad. I've seen worse. But this thing is sharp because this is made out of the same stuff they make razor blades out of. And
is that a fact? Or did you just make that up?
It feels like the same stuff.
You just made that up.
But the edges of this are literally sharp enough. I've used these things to open boxes before. I mean, it's like a box cutter. It's a tiny little strip here.
You think that would make it through TSA?
Oh yeah, you can put it in your shirt pocket. They never even notice. I mean, and man, would that make a great story?
But you gotta make sure you put it in the right way.
Fly this plane to Cuba.
I need my cigars.
You're waving my way.
Yeah, what is it? So we're matching it up to make sure that.
Right. So you want to make sure it's the same one, and it is. And then you just have to bring it down here. It goes from the inside, and it is a real trick to get these in place. Some of them work better than others. Sometimes they just pop, and there's little sharp, pointy things all over it.
It is a very dangerous part of PC build. This is a dangerous process.
I'm telling you, this is the worst part. This is the part I hate the most, especially in a warped case.
A lot of sharp pieces on the motherboard as well.
Yeah, and the case isn't necessarily very square anymore either. Especially after all that hammering.
I don't know if the hammering has twisted it or it just doesn't fit very well.
Combination.
Yeah.
I love how
you want me to get the hammer? Do you want me to try it? Do you want to switch? Yeah, why don't we put this
Let me try one more
motherboard?
time. I'm just going to try one more time.
I want to put this motherboard down.
Paul's wanting to enter the danger zone.
I always put the motherboard down on like the static bag or something. I never, it's very, there's lots of electronics.
Sometimes you can find a way to get it to sit there.
It is a pain in the butt. You're right.
Ah, there it went.
You got it?
I'm getting it.
Considering
it's covered with little spiky things.
Yes.
You know, it's like kind of trying to shove a porcupine up your nose.
How is... Never mind.
It's a thing in some places.
It's a thing in some places. All right. We got the face.
The basil.
The basil.
Yep.
The basil.
The basil
and
is
we have the thyme and oregano as well.
Oh,
yes.
God. All right. This is why we can't have nice things. And then you just kind of want to slide that in there and see, does it sit okay?
Just so many that's what she said jokes. I apologize.
I'm
you know what though? Is this a mini or micro?
It doesn't need that. Oh hell yeah!
It's a micro.
It's a micro.
Folks, you never get this lucky when you're doing a build. I'm just throwing that out there,
And that's what she said, right?
But we need to move a post or two, or at least one. At least one.
Ooh.
At least, is there a post underneath that one, Doug?
I want to shift this just a little bit. There's a post, post, missing post. Maybe missing one there, post. I've used different techniques to do this before, including Q-tips dipped in colored liquid.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And all kinds of weird stuff. But usually you can just eyeball it at this point. So
I think it's just one I need to move.
I think there's one right there. So it's this one.
Be careful not to scrape the motherboard.
I think it's this one.
I'm gonna need a.
Where'd the one I pull out go? I've got one here somewhere. I've got some right here too.
Oh, you got some.
Yeah, here's some right here. Although that looks really teeny tiny. Man, that's a little tiny post.
Dimitri said the basil is made of metal, which is the same thing that razor blades are made out of.
Exactly.
Thanks, Dimitri.
So to use those technical reports.
Great.
Where did that little...
So glad the Discord channel is there for these insights.
Yeah. Metal. What did I do with that post? I had a standoff somewhere. So we got one
definitely
here.
needed to post.
Those are so tiny.
And we need a post.
There's some little tiny screws that'll probably fit those, though.
Those are different.
No, they'll fit.
You lost a screw already, Doug. We only took one screw out, and you lost it already.
I lost it already. I thought I gave it to you.
No. Now it's my fault.
It's always your fault.
This is true.
I spent years being blamed by Lou for all the ills of the world, so I'm going to turn this around for a change. Now I'm the elder. Get it in there. Get that in there just right. Make sure that doesn't twist.
I mean, I definitely have a tool that, like a socket, in one of those sets that would make this a lot easier.
they make all kinds of cool little sockets. I used to have
might
one.
need that because
You think?
Well, the case is, as we've established, is bent and it's been hammered. I got it though.
Yeah, they're not usually that bad.
Yeah, you want to do the.
But I have had them where you had to have a little. I have one too somewhere. And sometimes these putting them back in is a challenge. How many do your
wait?
But
Man.
Oh, there's the tool.
If you take sometimes if you take the bit out of the screwdriver, that socket is the same. It's actually is a socket. They fit in there tight though, which is
well, especially they haven't been used. So, oh my God, I'm not even going there.
Yeah, don't strip it like I did with my Segway. I stripped 2 Allen keys, putting my Segway back together. No, I'm gonna have to Google that if I need to take it apart again.
It's a lot faster if you have one of those tools.
It is.
But I think I got it. Okay,
It's good
so we should be
manual,
pretty
too.
good.
You took a lot of the paint off of that too.
Yeah, you know what? If the queen drops by, we'll touch it up.
I'm always nervous seating the motherboard in because there's so many like solder points and things on the underside of it.
That's what.
But Doug, we haven't. But it fits over that space though. This case is.
And you know what we haven't
good
done?
Because you can stand it up and get to the
underside
underside
of the motherboard. We have not done that. We're just getting ready to screw up.
No.
No?
No, wait. No. No, but what I was just saying is that you have access to the underside of it.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
yes,
I guess that's your point. So you could do,
yeah.
it would be easier to do that maybe after it. But
I would seat the motherboard in first.
Let's check.
And we can, So you have access to it.
Okay.
They thought of that.
It's
They're like,
on
Paul
you.
and Doug's going to be building a computer.
It's on you.
We're going to send it to them damaged so they get more views on their live stream. And we're going to leave an opening in the case because they already told us how
and you know when we try to return this
seat the
mess,
motherboard and then realize they have to take
wait
it
till
out.
you try to send this back to the company and say it was bent.
Right?
And they're going, no, we watched your video. We saw the hammers.
We saw you hammering the case.
Like we have evidence. This is going to court. So let's see.
I have it up on screen too. All of those, the black pieces right there, those are for PCIe slots, right? Like if we want to put like a video card.
What, these things?
No, these right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's where
those are your
cards.
expansion card slots.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
And there's a myriad of superstitions about which screw you put in first.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
I just always did it
The
randomly.
closest one to the center is the...
Really?
I don't care, but...
Obviously, because you didn't put it in the closest one to the center. Just saying.
I don't buy superstitions, but
I don't know. Play along at home,
I have heard these tales.
You definitely put it on the one closest to the front of the case, but...
There are also ones that you just don't want to fool with. There's some that are just so difficult to do. This is easy because this motherboard is particularly small, so this is a micro. And the micro ATX is so easy to work on because if you had a full-sized, the motherboard's going to be this almost whole cavity, and a lot of times it's really difficult to get to some of these screws that are over on the edges.
And it's difficult to get some of the headers, too.
Yes, it can be.
There's a lot. I never realized how many innuendos there are when you're building a computer.
Oh my God!
This is almost like we're approaching like golf level innuendos, dude.
Oh my God! It's
Talking
worse than
about
golf.
clubs
It's
and
worse
balls
than
and
golf. Wait till we got to lube up the processor before we put it in. It's like
always want lube, dude. Always.
Yeah, it's
never install it without the thermal.
Oh Christ!
This is why you want magnetic screwdrivers, folks.
And it's why you don't want black screws. All these screws should be orange. These should be like bright orange so that you can see them because look, the motherboard's black, the screws are black. At least the case is not black. Used to all the cases were black.
Right.
So it was like, wow, it's like reaching into this abyss of Cthulhu to work on this thing. But this one's got
I don't know what that is, but it sounds bad. Should I be doing something right now other than watch you drop the screw again? And as I said that, you dropped the screw again. I don't think that magnet is very.
Yeah,
very
I don't
good
think
on
I'm
that.
going to leave that one. I don't think we need that one. So you can check it, and if it doesn't move, it's probably okay.
Will it blend?
I'll be honest. I mean, I'm pretty happy with the few. I don't usually get too worked up.
I like
over.
to go where I'm happy with the number of screws
Ooh.
and then add one more.
Now I did see a kind of flex there that when I screwed it down, it flattened. So there is that.
So is the warping of the case, you think?
I'm probably going to be sorry I put all these screws in, but I'm going to put them in. I can tell Paul's nervous that there's not enough screws in this motherboard, so
I
can
am.
feel it coming off them.
I was just waiting for you to turn around and get something else, and I was going
Like,
to put
you know,
another screw in.
It's like dogs can sense fear. I can sense when people want another screw put in the motherboard.
No, but see, like right there, there's a little bit of give to it. You see that? Because there's no post there.
Oh.
But
But
my concern is that's where the graphics
But
card
I'm
is
going
going
to
to
tell
go.
you, the graphics card's going to push that down and hold it because it's going to screw in right here. It'll
Yeah,
be
no,
fine.
you're right. You're right.
Good. You're good there.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that's being caused by the warped case.
Or the missing screw in the corner right there where your
we have
finger
to take
is.
the whole thing back out to put a standoff there.
No, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Like you said, once you get the graphics card in.
I think this will be okay. It's over here on this edge. It should be fine. Notice we're not using anti-static straps.
Nah.
You want the ultimate nerd accessory. It's an anti-static strap.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to have the table. Okay, so we have our motherboard put in. So the next thing we want to look at is, I will say, sometimes I put the CPU in because the CPU is the scariest part, because if you drop the CPU or whatever, you've got big problems. But I'm thinking maybe we put this cooler, well, the CPU's not there. I don't want to put the cooler in until the CPU's there, because you want to...
I put the CPU in first.
You want to
then
get
put
the pump out of the way. You want it fastened down. So
yes.
we need to figure out which one of these gadgets goes on the back of this thing.
Right.
So this is always a tricky thing. So this is an LGA
1200.
which of course we don't have support for. We have
Who ordered this anyway?
We have 1366. We've got 115X 775. We've got 2066, 2011.
Wait.
Oh, there's some more out there. Maybe I missed that part.
Wait.
There's a compatibility though. There's a flip between these things. These are Intels. I think it's a 2066. I swear. There's one that's the same. This is for the
1366.
Yeah. We probably should read those
It doesn't
instructions.
say 1200, which makes me kind of nervous. But I'm
Yeah.
assuming the 1366 has different.
I will.
One
check.
of them's got to line up.
You'd think. Let's see here.
I can't.
Unless you bought the wrong cooler.
PC Part Picker told me that it was compatible.
Oh, that's true. You use all that fancy stuff. Well, there's not a lot of options, really. There's these things, which are, I think, AMD stuff. All these curved.
No,
weirdness.
this is definitely AMD.
Yeah.
We're
And
not
there's
going
like
to use
two
that.
curved braces here. So really, the only one of these things is this one right here. I think it's this one.
Yeah, it's that one. It's got to be that one.
I think so.
Let me see.
Yeah, seems like.
That lines up, right?
Looks like. I think that'll work.
That lines up.
Yeah.
It's this one.
Okay.
I don't think there's difference in the. So what is it saying? This is 1366 is the one we're going to follow. So I need the.
So they got
I
these
need
little,
the posts.
Yeah, this is for a different subsystem. Those little things, the little
That's
curved.
different. We're not going to
Yeah,
use that.
okay.
We're using this because these holes line
So
up.
you need these things, I think. What
Yes.
the hell are those things? Is that
They're
what they are?
posts. Yeah.
I know, but they're weird. They don't have
Yeah,
like
no,
thumb
it's
screws.
just it just slides in.
And somewhere there's
So-
supposed to be some thermal paste. Here it is. The dreaded thermal paste. This is Intel LGA 2011. Why is the thermal paste labeled for a particular processor? Well, you got all kinds of things here that go with this. There's stacks and stacks of stuff. You'll never know what half this stuff is for.
Oh no, I need something like that. I need that.
This?
Yeah, I need that.
Ooh. Cool. We found
I'm
something
like, I'm
weird.
missing a piece, and it happened to be the piece that your finger was on.
Well, this is thermal paste, and if you've never done that little operation, it's interesting.
I see.
A lot of modern stuff comes with a little patch on the back of the pump that you just, I mean, honestly, once I quit overclocking, I went to Overclockers Anonymous, and I swore I would not do it again. But when I quit overclocking, we quit worrying so much about the thermal paste, because you need the thermal paste, don't get me wrong. But with the overclocking stuff, there was all this sort of dogma around, again, how is it done? And there was the Lou Glorfeld method there was a Glorfeld razor blade method. You had to get it thin enough you could see the letters underneath there, and it had to be sanded and all this stuff. And other people go, oh, just put a glop on there and let it squirt out everywhere. It's just a big mess.
No, don't do that.
No, don't do that. But I'm saying there's people
thermal paste is conductive.
It shouldn't be.
And
don't buy conductive thermal paste. Oh my God.
But whether it is or it isn't, I don't like it spilling over.
You don't want it on your motherboard.
You don't want it on your motherboard.
I agree. And you don't
keep
want
it between the processor and
if you do get it on your motherboard, not that I've ever done that, but if you get it all over the place because you put too much
alcohol,
get rubbing alcohol, and you'll have to. It may be really difficult to remove, but it's a real nightmare if it gets over. And again, it can be conductive. So Arctic Silver was.
It's not toxic though. I mean, I've got it on my hands quite a few times.
Oh, it's toxic, but yeah.
Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah, it explains a lot.
Explains the itching and the burning.
It goes right through your skin, itching, burning.
That itching, burning sensation.
Yeah. Oh, so that's how those things work.
Yeah, it's got little tabs. It says this is for a 1366, which...
It goes on the underside, though.
I know, but I'm just seeing if
it fits.
Does it line up? It absolutely will line up. Yeah.
Everything goes right where it's supposed to.
Okay, no, it's not. Okay.
Oh, yeah, so if that works...
So why don't we stand her up?
All right.
What are we going to name this system,
She's looking good, boys.
Gotta flip her over.
So flip her over.
Smack it up, flip it, rub it down, and insert from the back side.
We're all going to hell. Did it work?
No, I'm working on it. It's getting there. Oh yeah, no, that's beautiful.
Oh.
That's beautiful.
I can see this is going to be a pain, though.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, how do you...
Because then it's going to fall out when you lay the case back down.
Correct.
So what? Yeah, so this is one of those where duct tape...
Duct tape?
Duct tape, a little soldering iron, whatever. Yeah, don't do any of those things. But
it's definitely plastic.
This is plastic, so it would be helpful if we had a little piece of tape or something, but we don't. So we're gonna have to wing it. What do we got here?
No, it'll be all right.
Okay.
I'll just trying to move these cables out of the way.
Yeah, I just like to keep these somewhere so that they're not gonna get squished. So I'm gonna hold them up.
If I do this and just hold it,
it's gonna fall
gently,
down, isn't it?
Yeah, but you got some.
Yeah, you might be able to get it.
Can we slide the cables like? Yeah.
No, they're gonna. Yeah, just don't put a lot of pressure on it.
Oh.
Yeah, that sucks.
That does suck.
Poor design.
Well, you got to put the processor in.
Probably should have read the manual, which is like, do not do this first.
Yeah.
That's what I always find out. I'm always doing stuff like that, and then I actually read the manual. It's like, oh yeah. Well, the problem is we should have put the cooler in first because you don't want to do this right now.
Oh wait, this comes out.
Yeah, but don't
use that.
Take that off.
Well, you got to put the CPU in.
Oh, you want to put? We don't even have to open yet. Put that back.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Well, you don't want to drop anything on that because you drop something on those contact points, you are definitely done.
Can you get that back in? I'm one-handed now.
Wait, how did it come out of there in the first place?
I think you have to lift the handle.
Oh, I think it was just, yeah. Hang on. I'm just trying to be very delicate here. I just want to keep that covered up. I'm extremely paranoid about that part of the
Does it go like that? I don't think I...
No, it didn't go
No,
like
no,
that.
it goes on top of that. Watch the pins, though. Does it?
I think it was sitting right here like this. I just want it covered up is all. I mean, it's fine. I'm not going to worry about it.
Okay. But you are worried about it. It's okay.
Yeah, but as long as it's got a little bit of coverage there, I'm fine. I just want, if we drop something, I don't want it to fall and hit the pins. I think that'll stay close enough if you slide it back over, won't it? Yeah. Oh. No.
It's fine. It's fine. We got to get the yeah.
So we should
I'm going to have to hold that from the bottom. That's it's a bad design.
Yeah. I guess you could do it up on its side though. So you could just put the whole thing on its side facing you.
Yeah, but you got to really crank down the screws when you put the cooler on. You know,
there's quite a few steps here. So okay, so here's your processor, in the incredibly fancy box. It looks like a Fabergé egg is going to come out of it, although this probably cost as much
The
as one of those.
packaging on the CPUs is like amazing, isn't it? Turn it around so you can, as I hold it over the motherboard, so if I drop it, it could be a bad day. But I'm excited about the new 11th gen i9. This actually has the Intel UHD 7030 graphics coprocessor in it, which the way graphics cards are going right now, I wanted this as a backup.
Very valuable, yeah.
We do have a really, the lowest end, crappiest GeForce GT 710 that we're going to put in it. And we're kind of benchmark it and see if there's any difference in performance. My thinking is to drive 2 monitors. I'd use the coprocessor for one monitor and the graphics card for the other monitor potentially, or disable the coprocessor, or if I didn't have the GeForce GT 710, I was just going to use the onboard. But given the way graphics cards are going, we can always add one later.
Yeah, when the prices get more reasonable.
In
'cause
2023.
Yeah, because right now they're insane. And actually, I don't normally buy CPUs with graphics coprocessor.
I don't either.
Because it just adds
Look at
the
that.
heat.
That's just a.
It's like a.
It's so fancy.
Ooh.
I like the inside case.
I don't understand. Like
this is like siding on your house or something. It's
Fuck
like
do you even
higher
open it?
quality. It cannot be opened.
It's
You want the hammer?
It's the fifth Horcrux.
Do not use a hammer to open up your processor. I just, what I envision happening is I'm going to get it open and the processor's going to go flying somewhere. Doug's going to be diving to save it.
Yeah, that won't work.
What the?
If you can't open this box, you're not smart enough to build this computer.
I think I got
Here
it.
we go.
No, there's little tabs. But again, I don't. Okay, I got it.
This is how you get Hellraisers.
Yeah. This is all that fancy packaging
Yeah,
for
look
a
at that.
cardboard
It's like
sleeve.
a little cardboard sleeve.
Right?
That was packed by some guy named Bert sitting on the ground.
Do I want to use a knife to open the tape on the back?
Go for it. Cut it.
Well, I don't want to mangle the. I don't know. This is where the blood comes in too.
Once the knives come out, the knives and the wrecking bars and the bezels.
Oh, and the sticker. They give you a sticker. Right?
Ooh,
Intel Core i9 Intel
it.
Inside.
Badge it.
Remember that marketing campaign, Intel Inside?
Again, just not going there.
And this is an 8-core i9 11900K, 3.5 gigahertz. It's the latest and greatest.
It is.
From Intel in this tiny little
And
package.
see, no pins. It's just
it's just contact points. You're right.
Which is why you definitely don't want to touch them, but the pins are so delicate.
The pins are on the motherboard. And
no,
usually,
there aren't any pins. These are just contacts too. There's no pins.
Oh, wow. There's no pins.
They're just little contact points, so they just lay on each other. They just touch.
What I hate is like which way does it go? There's a
Oh, okay.
See, there used to be a triangle on one corner
It's
here.
time for Nerdavision.
And there should be a marker. There's no marker. You have a flashlight on your glasses?
Yeah.
That's really nerdy.
This is how I get all the girls.
To run away?
Yeah. They're like, oh God, Silence of the Lambs, Silence of the Lambs. There
Sure, that's
are
the right
some
way.
little tick slots there. You can see it only fits in
there's
one
notches.
direction.
Yeah, there's
two
notches.
notches. So this is the only direction it will actually
Right.
go. So then you can close your little,
Only goes in one way.
close that,
sure.
and then this very clunky sort of stuff that you have to do here to make this.
Wait,
actually
you didn't
lock
put the
down.
thermal paste on. Oh, the thermal paste doesn't go on that side of the processor. That would be bad, folks. Thermal paste goes on the outside.
I'm going to be honest and tell you, I had somebody bring me one like that once. That
Yep.
said, I put the thermal paste in there, but it looks like a big mess, and they had squirted it all over where the pins went in.
That's bad.
It looked like a sandwich where somebody squished the bread
Yes.
down and it all squirted out the sides. He was like, "Can you fix this?" And I was like, $500 an hour, at least 10 hours.
Okay, that looks good.
Yeah, you got the processor in, so that's excellent.
Now
So-
we got to mount the thing to the
thing to the thing.
The thing to the thing.
Insert tab
It's
A
very,
and slot
very
B.
technical terms. What's
Yeah.
going to happen though is, Doug, when you mount this on the inside here,
Yeah.
it's going to block any space that we have to get at these contact points and pins right here. And it looks like the power supply.
Let's just check. Let's just
for
double check here to see how
the
bad that's going to be.
processor. Yeah.
Oh my, that's going to be really bad. Yeah.
That's really bad.
Okay. So we might have to shift that down a little
Done
bit.
this before. And
Yeah.
it looks like on this side, you've got
This is
ATX 12
yeah,
volt.
so you got the 8 rail and the 4 pin for the CPU.
Does the CPU take
It takes that for that little
that
4
whole
pin
thing?
on. Yeah, I think so. Well, actually, one of them's for the power that's on the motherboard, so
8?
like the USB and all that stuff. This little 4 pin's for the CPU.
and the other 8-pin
That's bringing in 5 volt, I think,
For the
like
board.
the USB,
Yeah.
the board, and all that stuff. So, and then you get your big power supply over here. This is the
Right.
motherboard supply. But yeah, you're right. So a really good point Paul made. Always scan your environment to see just how bad this is going to be, because if you don't connect this now, you're going to be sorry. So the trick would be take one of your cables that fits this and go ahead and attach it and pull it back through the case and just get it out of the way. That's a
that's
VGA
not
cable you
VGA.
want.
Where does
one of those
VGA
will
go?
be a VGA cable. Well, VGA goes into the video
into the
card.
video card.
Yeah,
Sorry,
and you don't have that yet.
Yeah.
So there's that one.
I don't even know if that video card will take a
And that's for your your actual
Peripheral.
5 volt rails.
CPU.
There you go.
CPU.
There's one.
And they give you the
The split one, yeah.
the
'cause
split
there's just
one.
different-
Cool, because all right, take that
This
one.
is the one you want right here, I think.
But then there should be another one going to that other header, right?
No, it's right here. You got the 8 pin and the 4 pin.
Oh, no, one of those has to go to the power supply though, no? One of those goes to the power supply.
Oh, one end of it, I guess, yeah. So, but why does both ends say CPU? Oh, it's for this is a power supply end. Okay, you're right. They don't have a double one of those? That's just Wait.
Hold on, I got more. These are both VGA. That says CPU.
okay. Well, this will work. This is fine.
You need 2 of them. That says VGA.
No, I got enough. I got the 4 pin one and I got the
SATA.
big one.
Yeah. VGA.
I'm good. But yeah, this was a smart move on Paul's part, because otherwise I would have put that radiator in and we'd have been screwed.
Oh wait, no, look at this. Look at this, Doug.
This is the one that goes over here.
Yeah, but the one that goes over there also has the thing that
it's
goes
got
over
the other
there.
piece.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Not that I
It's not
think
gonna
those will
work, though.
reach, but
I don't think it's gonna work.
that.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Let's see here. So we got Mr. CPU cable here. So we got one
Yeah, that's weird how they did that,
8
huh?
pin. Oh, I hate this part. You got to figure out if it will work and which way it actually is supposed to go. So yeah, I think it goes like this. So I'm just gonna get it so where it will actually go in there, and then I'm gonna do the 4 pin one first. I think it's gonna be the harder one to do. Let's see here.
The reason I noticed as on my last build, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Like these headers
I've-
on this side of the motherboard that was closest to the
I've
top.
taken a lot of radiators
Dude,
out.
they were just like so hard to get to.
And I'm going to tuck that one right in there. There's a nice little drop down to get rid of that one. Do a little fancy cable work there. And then I got
Oh, there is a drop down there for
yeah,
that.
and then
That's
I got a nice little double.
Is that going to reach the power supply though? I don't
don't
even know.
know.
How do you get to the?
You're going to
power
pull it
supply?
up the other side and it'll come around.
Yeah, that's the drive. The 3.5 inch.
It could come in from that side, I think.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
gonna be a pain.
Boy, it's
to
going to be
plug
bad
in.
if these aren't in there good, isn't it? Because once we put this other thing in there, we're going to be kind of screwed. But yeah, I
Yep.
don't know if these will reach or not. You have to buy extended cables. I have had to do that before. I've had
Really?
to buy extra long power cables for those big cases.
Yep. Oh yeah, a full size tower.
Yep. And then you buy a power supply and you find that it's got little tiny short cables with it. These aren't particularly short, but they're shortish.
What do they give? Do they give you an extender? Yeah,
I don't
probably
think
not.
so. All right, so that's good. Got that. Over here on this other side, we have 2 other additional things that are labeled RGB header and add Gen 2.
That's
That's
lighting.
what these 2 little headers are. Those are lighting headers.
I
yeah.
usually don't do much with lighting because
It's going to sit in a closet somewhere.
I mean, this might go under Johnny's desk, but still. But these are fan headers right here, and I don't know if we need to
There are some fan headers, you're right.
plug into those fan headers.
Well, you
usually,
could.
but wait, usually, hold on. Velcro ties.
Well, the fan, you could plug these in there, or
What is this? Is this to push the? Is this a tool to push it down, or is
I have
that
no idea what it is.
what is that?
Is it a wireless controller? Or
Is it a
something?
tester? Oh no, look, it's a tester. Look at the pins.
It
It
is?
jumpers those pins together. That's a power supply tester.
Huh. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we didn't test the power supply.
That is
so
a power
hopefully
supply
it'll work.
tester.
All right.
Oh look, here it's power supply mounting screws.
So this is chassis fan and ATO pump is what these are labeled. So you may or you probably have.
Oh, that gets in the BIOS because the BIOS recognizes what's plugged into
Yep.
the fans
So
and it
here's
monitors
like-
the fans. Yeah, I
you
had
got
that on my
your
build.
power cables
my
here for these
workstation.
various fans and pumps and all this stuff. So like this is what goes there. So these two little things,
Yeah,
these two connectors.
you can power them off the power supply directly too without plugging them into the motherboard.
can?
But the advantage of powering off the motherboard is the motherboard,
Well, you want your monitoring on
UFI's
this,
going to recognize those.
You want your
and-
monitoring
yeah.
on this. So this one, which one's which though? This must be the pump power.
They give you one converter to power a fan.
There you go.
Just one. Well, you can you daisy chain them usually.
Well, yeah.
oh,
if they're
I
just
see. No, but
case
that
fans-
one is, yeah,
If they're just case fans, that's fine. No big deal.
other way.
Other
No?
way?
No, you're
it
right. I'm
goes this
sorry.
way. Oh, I'm so non-agile.
Yeah, you're really awkward right now. Hey, let me see that.
Yeah, I know. Let
Which
Paul try.
one we?
This should be the pump power. So this
Just
goes
pump.
on the first one on the.
That way, when the BIOS reads it and it
Yeah,
wants to
it'll read
monitor
it
the
correctly.
pump, it'll read it right.
Oh, here's a good one. Please peel off label before using. It's good that that's there, but guess what happens when you forget? It makes this really
Melts.
creepy smell
Oh, bad smell.
as that starts to melt into your processor. Not that I ever did that. Or leaving a little plastic cover over the processor. That always helps too. But you'll know that pretty quick because you'll smell it.
This is only 3.
Yeah, it's,
Oh, I
it's
see
3
it.
on 4.
I see
so
it.
you
I
put it on
see
the,
it. Yeah, I was in the wrong spot.
put it on the high order pins on the. Yeah, that's the way. It's got a little catch there to keep it, make it fit. And this is a creepy one here that goes. That's got 4 pins.
Oh, they just
Let it come
don't
off.
make this easy
Yeah, those things are the hardest things to work on.
because you don't want to bend the pins.
Yeah, but at least if you bend those,
Did
it's
I
not
bend
like
the
the end of
pin?
the world. No, I think you're
No,
good.
did I do that right?
Yeah,
Does that go there? No, that doesn't go there, does it?
does.
No, that plugs into the other.
What?
That plugs into the control. That's a control unit.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Like,
Oh, it goes in here. No.
Use your usually
fan.
there's this thing. Yeah, this thing. This is how all the fans get power.
Oh, okay. This is their power setup.
Yeah.
That's a Cooler
These
Master
all,
thing.
like,
Okay, well, I'll
daisy
let you
chain.
decide that one because
These
I've not
daisy
done that.
chained together. See, like this and this.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I might have to read the manual.
You do that. I'll find my fan. I want to find my radiator screws.
What is this?
So I should have some radiator screws somewhere.
Oh, here they are. See these? I hate these.
Ooh, yeah, those are bad.
These all go into here,
I
Doug.
don't like those.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay,
these.
yeah, I see. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
They go between those two things
This
to
is
join them
the-
together. Yeah.
This is for the power, right? This is all power. This is all power. And then you just power this one thing.
Yeah, you power one end
there,
of it, and then that's going to
this
split
is
the
just
it's
your
just
splitter.
a splitter. Yeah, it's an extension cord. Should be.
And this
fine.
makes cable management really
Somewhere.
yucky.
We must have.
And I hate these things.
Everybody hates those things.
And next time I'm going, this is Corsair doesn't do it this way, do they?
No, they do not.
And then there's an arrow. See the arrows? I don't know if you can see that on the video.
you
but
match
there's-
the
you
arrows
How to
up.
match the arrows up.
Yep. I've done a Cooler Master before, just once.
Then, I'd almost like to put electrical tape on there so it doesn't come apart, to be honest.
Usually
with
they're
you.
pretty tight fit though.
No, they are. And then the fans should,
These
two
fans?
fans go into here.
Okay, so you got, there's different things here. There's power, and then there's also these weird controller cables.
Yeah.
So like these things.
These are the controller cables.
Yeah, these are power cables. So these plug into the motherboard.
This is for the controller stuff.
Yeah, probably should read up on
Yeah, I
it.
don't remember it because I don't remember exactly how it all goes
What the hell is that stuff?
together.
There's probably an instruction manual for the. There's probably people on your Discord going, "God, don't do that."
Oh shit! I hate these.
Maybe there's not an instruction.
Is there no
Oh
instruction?
no, it's here. It's here. This is this thing.
Is that the?
But
it doesn't tell you how to-
connectors. So here's the picture that you want. So the leg bone connected to the neck bone.
Help us!
So all those so the actual fan power cables plug into the motherboard, and then
No, I'm doing it right. I'm doing it right.
You are. Yeah, just
yeah,
those
yeah.
weird things all plug together, and then that plugs into something else.
I did that.
A mystery thing.
I did that.
I don't even
No,
know
I
what
see
this
the
is.
mystery thing.
What is
It's a-
P?
It's a button. It's a.
Oh, it's some kind
You
of
can-
controller.
It's a controller, so you can change the lighting and speed.
Yeah.
No, the brightness, brightness,
for God's
and
sake.
direction. You can change the direction of the fans.
Ooh, you
How
can
about
make them
that?
suck. That's why they don't have an arrow on them. I guess
That
they're
makes it go
reversible.
from suck to blow.
Oh my God! You buy such fancy stuff.
It's fancy.
You should have seen it back when you had to get the hamster to go inside there to run the little wheel. Did you get all your little joiner pins?
This goes in here like this.
Yeah, just make sure you got your arrows lined up.
No, I definitely didn't line up the arrows
Okay,
on that
'cause
one.
Then when you turn it on, it goes, and that's it. Sparks come out of
But
it.
then I need one of these.
Ooh,
Do you
you
want
ever
to?
see anybody plug an audio plug into a USB, and yeah, then sparks fly.
And then wait,
Okay.
those go here, but this has to go. Hold on, let me see the picture again. This
That
plugs
thing
into
connects to.
here.
One of them connects to the pump. You already got that one, right? You
Yep.
get the pump
Yep.
one?
Yep.
And you
Yeah,
got
the
the two
pump is
fan
plugged
ones.
in,
So the
and the
pump
two
one and the two
fans.
fan ones. And then all those plug into that thing, and then that thing just plugs
goes
into
into my
your little,
controller.
your little controller box.
These are just the controller
And
cables.
then
right?
the power connectors for the fans can plug in somewhere else, wherever there's a fan.
Wherever it says fan is where I
Well,
I
you
learned
gotta
that from
find-
my build because my BIOS was confused.
Motherboards have a real
And you
dearth
get
of-
errors like, oh, I can't monitor the fan speed.
Oh, there we go. There's a CPU
Ooh, it
riser.
clicked.
That's probably
Now
what it
see,
should do.
ideally you mount that on the outside of the case
Yeah, somehow.
somehow.
How you do that, I don't know.
Well, I mean, we had
You
to
could
bend
pull
it, so
pull it through. Yeah.
there's probably a gap somewhere now that we've bent the crap out of the
hang
case.
on, I'll get the chisel.
Okay,
Okay.
the data stuff is connected. It's just the power, but
So-
you got one more header over here, Doug.
Oh, well, you could use that one then, if you want to.
Yeah, but that's coming from the fans.
Yeah, so you could connect any of these fan devices to that stuff, but you can connect them pretty much anywhere at that point.
Oh wait,
They're just, it's just power. It's not
No,
going to
yeah.
matter anymore.
yeah,
Put
but
them
it
both
does
right
because
there.
in the BIOS it wants the monitor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like it's-
but this is not going to give much information. These are 3 pins, so, but you can put them both.
no, that's a 4-pin.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. It'll get RPMs in.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Are these both? Yeah, both the fans should plug in here. Yeah, these should be powered.
I guess there's just
Like
one,
that?
though. There's just one header.
No, there's one right here.
Oh, there it is.
I know the mess of
Sometimes
cables that
they're-
comes with the
well-
liquid coolers. It's a hot mess of cables.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
And then I usually get frustrated with cable management and I just leave it.
melted.
At some point, that's not lined up. Hang on. This is the worst.
The world's longest webcast.
Because you don't want to bend the pins. You know what I mean? Like
No, you don't.
bending pins is
Bending
bad.
pins is bad. Very bad. Although at least if you're going to bend pins, those are the ones you want to bend, let me tell you.
Yeah, because you got backups.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you can
Now we're
you
good.
can often straighten those pins. Okay, so this thing then is going to sit.
Well, you need screws on the top side. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Oh my God, everything's all tangled. We're done.
The screws in the ashtray were from CPU cooler or no? No, these are CPU cooler. I think it's these screws that go on the top of the case.
I think we could position this
Yeah.
a little further over here even.
I would position it up higher, Doug. Yes, to give
That's
us
as
more
high as
room.
it goes right here.
Yep.
But yeah, you could actually get to some of those risers. So yeah, like right in there will be fine.
Is that going to work?
Might. You don't need anything fancy for that because
that
of
the
the
right
way
screw?
it's set up. They're usually so standard anymore.
It looks like the right screw.
If it'll hold it, that's all it really needs. That's the secret.
I would think those would be a flat top screw.
Well, there may be some, but as long as it works.
How many holes are we working with here?
Just do 4. You could do more, I think. Actually,
Yeah.
there's 6.
I need a bigger bit. Okay.
There
I
are
got it.
6. Here, you can use this one.
Yeah.
That's mine. It's got a bigger bit.
Is that so? We bragging now?
Hey,
You definitely need a computer screwdriver set.
yeah, you should.
I don't recommend attempting it without one. And they're so
Although
cheap
I will
on
say
Amazon.
a lot
I
of-
bought 2.
A lot of Phillips head screwdrivers will work, and
But having the magnets and
oh yeah,
this has the the thing where you
little
hold
spin,
it and
yeah.
it spins. It just
these are far better, but they're more expensive than just buying. But it always, if you're gonna
these
go
were
buy-
like $12.99 a set at $15.99 on Amazon.
oh,
Magnets aren't very
I
good.
have the
Maybe
I-
I should have spent $18.99.
mine's the
I
iFixit. It probably cost $118.
Get out of here! Did it really?
It's
Ooh, that's a nice
expensive.
one.
It is, yeah. It's for working on iPhones.
That works too. This yellow set I have was for phones.
Yeah, it looked like it's got the
Yeah.
whole phone, the case opening
but
tools.
it's
and all
totally
that.
fine for this. These are definitely
Yeah.
the screws for that. And see, they have the divots in there.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
And there you go. Because if you can see that, oh, you get that shot over there. So if you can see that now, you've got your radiator mounted on the top of the case. And because this is a really fancy one, you've got a gadget that will let you decide whether it sucks or blows. And well, at least we hope. And then the next part of that is then going to just be to position this thing, which is going to have some additional stuff attached to it, it looks like.
Now they have a guy falling on a ladder. Oh, for Johnny.
So
Dimitri recommends the iFixit kit.
that's what I have.
He said he gave up on the Amazon specials.
Exactly. That's the problem with the cheapo stuff is, although, the cheapo stuff is so
For 2
cheap.
cheapos, I could have gotten iFixit.
You can buy
Yeah.
6 cheapos, so when one goes bad, you just throw it away and get it and use the next one.
Right.
So
So
this,
see, I would have done those fans on the bottom.
what do you mean on the bottom?
So I would have mounted them so these cables are towards this part. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we can flip it.
We
if
can
you
always
want.
flip it. And that I'm just for cable because now when we put the RAM in there,
I know.
it's
I was
gonna
trying to
be-
get them up here out of the way.
right?
I like them up here because then they're not down on
Well, I
the.
guess I don't know how much slack we have. Well, we got some
You're okay.
slack.
You're okay.
There's lots of places we could put those cables though.
Yeah, they're fine. I think they're okay. But if you want to flip them, we can flip them.
No, because you might be able to get them in between the 2 fans.
Oh, you mean like pull them down through here?
Yeah. The data ones you could unplug and plug back in for better
Yeah, you'd have
because
to
they're kind of
feed
twisted
them
with
down
each other.
through
You
there,
could
I
probably
think.
feed. Actually, you probably could do that. Yeah.
Although that's not going to cause any problem.
Yeah. But
I
we
mean-
got to get the CPU.
If you're not overclocking, a lot of this heat management stuff's not that big of a deal. This thing, you're not going to have any heat problems in this case. You don't have any big video cards. You've got a radiator for your CPU. These little cables are not going to cause airflow
even though we're
issues.
Gen 4 PCIe M.2.
I'm telling you, these are not going to cause heat problems.
no, they
I
just
mean-
look ugly. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
who's going to see it? You put the cover back on. The case already beat the hell anyway.
Poor Johnny.
It's funny because Joe was like the first thing he said. He goes, "Oh, that's your new PC, right?" You guys already had a hammer and a back to it.
All right, Doug, you want to hold that so we don't bang it on the motherboard.
I
I'm going to
have it.
stand it.
Here, I'm
Stand it
holding
up.
the case too.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay. And I'm going to take this thing, insert it in the holes in the backside.
I'm furious. Duct tape. Or painter tape, that would work.
We have painter tape somewhere.
Probably.
All right, that's in. Now, if you want to set that down, Doug, I can hold it.
I'll tell you what, let's set it like this.
Okay.
'Cause then it won't hurt anything. It'll stay.
Okay.
You don't even have to hold it. So we got to figure out
Which screws to put on top to hold the CPU cooler.
So I think this is what these things have to get attached to the CPU cooler, and that's what you put the thumb screws through into this. There's a little. They're not actually thumb screws. They're going to be just caps. So they're like these things.
Yes.
That
You think we
screw
need
it
those
down.
metal pieces too? Let me see.
So these are going to have to be the piece that, these things right here are what's going to balance, I think, the pump on top of the base plate.
Yep, you are correct, sir.
Okay, so, yeah, so that's
Step 7.
So probably,
We are on step 7,
okay,
just like
of the
Stuxnet.
IKEA bookcase build.
Wasn't step 7 the Siemens software that uses Stuxnet?
So I think if
Was.
we somehow put these on now, then we can screw the pump down
Yeah.
into this.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can leave it like this to put these things
Sure.
on here. I do believe.
I've never done it sideways before. I had to say, even I underestimated the innuendos that would ensue when we built a computer. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's beautiful, dude. You should see the curvature that's created over here. Like, you can see, Johnny, if you take a look, like this power supply, like, is crooked, and the bays for the 3.5 inch drives, right? Yeah. Oh, and that's, yeah.
I got to see that picture again.
Step 7.
1, 2, 3, 4. So, oh, it looks like that goes on after that.
I don't
You just
understand
set
their design with this case, though, Doug.
So
like-
you take this.
How are we gonna mount?
Oh, you
the,
attach this to the pump first. Then you set this on here.
like, how would they expect you to plug this stuff in with this in the way?
You can do it.
Yeah, that's gonna suck.
It's gonna suck.
Yeah, you can do that part.
Okay, I think we're gonna have to.
I think these
we're gonna have to do
not,
something to hold
Oh,
this
I'll
in
hold
place.
that.
We're gonna
I'll
set
hold it
down
while you
now.
screw it.
No, it's not going to be that simple. I think I need to. Well, actually, I can do this
I need to
first.
hold it from the front and the back while you screw it.
Yeah, we're all going to hell. I got it.
And you want to do the top or the bottom first? Oh, God. Johnny says bottom first. We got to remove the
These-
wrapper
oh my
first
God.
before
No,
you
I'm gonna leave the
insert it.
I'm stealthing it. Oh dear. Oh dearie, dearie, dear. Oh,
There's just no keeping a straight face. I
this is going to
apologize.
be
Sorry.
so
There is
difficult to do.
no keeping a straight face.
How does this
I'm
work?
sorry. Yeah, it's
I
just
don't
the way, it's the
understand
way
how
it
this
works.
actually works.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that one. And of course, that one went for glory. It looks
I
like
like-
this somehow is
like
mounted on
whenever
here,
you build a computer, make sure you have a production assistant handy to pick up the screws that you drop.
that would help. Yeah, that would
Not
be
that we're
amazing.
spoiled in any way.
But this
What are you
doesn't
doing
screw.
over
I'm just
there?
trying to figure out how
You-
this works.
No, it doesn't go like that.
No, okay.
No.
It doesn't. You're right.
No,
Okay, well, how does it go
no,
then?
that step 7.
Oh, I know, but it's like what attaches
But
it.
you're not looking at step 7. You're looking at step 6.
Oh, I am.
Yes,
But they're showing how to put these things on there.
that's for a different processor.
Oh, I see. But these
We're
things are still involved.
1366.
These things are still involved.
Yes, the metal pieces are still involved.
So
Not
how do
this-
the
what
metal
is this
pieces
screw? Where did
attach?
you even find that screw?
How do these metal pieces
All
attach?
right,
then?
tag me in.
You
Tag
do
me in,
it.
tag me
All
in.
right, you're in.
You're
I'm
in.
out.
You're holding from the back.
Okay, I'm coming to hold from the back. Okay, I got it. I'm
Yeah.
holding from the back.
Okay, no, we're gonna have to put it down though. There's no way we can do
Yeah,
this
okay.
sideways. Yeah.
Well, you can
so-
put it down on my hand. It'll be
Yeah.
okay.
What is this?
That's one of those
I need
things,
that.
one
I
of
need
those
that.
fins.
Yeah.
All right, I'm holding it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
there
just
you
sit
go.
down.
How did you have this curved, Doug? This way?
Yeah.
This way. Like
Yeah.
that.
Uh-huh.
And then what happens is in step 7 is these things, right, Doug? This thing doesn't screw in.
Is it
Oh,
just-
is that what you were looking for? If that's screwed into the...
maybe it just sits on there.
No, wait.
Yeah.
No. Step 5. No, you're right. Sorry.
I'm
Step
telling
5. Step 5, you're right. This screws into here. You're right.
Mhm. Somehow, but I don't know what it screws in there with.
I got it. I think that's the screw that you were...
Yeah.
It goes on the top or the bottom. It looks like the top. It looks like the top. And I'm assuming this way. Like this.
Okay.
And then this. Do you have more of these screws?
There's a whole bunch of screws over there. I don't think that screwed, but there's nothing to screw it into is a problem.
What were the ones in the ashtray that came with the case?
Yeah,
Where did you get this screw from?
it was in the ashtray.
Oh.
But how did
No,
it?
this attaches to the cooler.
Oh, I wonder
Oh.
if it just. I wonder if it just forces it down. If it's not actually screwed on there. Do they show
This shows it screwing on there.
Okay.
No, you're right.
I
That's the
thought
wrong
maybe
screw.
it just goes over the edge and then you screw it down with those thumb screws.
No. You were right. There should be 4 screws that hold these metal brackets onto the liquid cooler. Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't.
Where is the other bracket?
The other bracket's in here. It's actually in the case right here.
Oh, okay.
There's two brackets.
But now I got to find the.
What do you screw this down?
You need a lot of space when you build a computer.
You do.
It's just you need a lot of space. Move your space goggles. No, but there should be small screws like this one that we have there.
Well, everything we got out is over there in that ashtray or somewhere right nearby there.
No, it wouldn't be these.
It's not this, is it?
It's not these silver screws, is it?
It's not this.
Where did
set.
these silver screws come
I don't
from?
know. They all came from the same place.
It says part L. What's part L? Part L. This looks like part L, Doug.
You don't think it's this, do you?
No, that's for AMD.
Okay, I
That's
thought
for
so
AMD.
too, but I'm
Yep,
just making
yep.
sure. I haven't built an AMD in so long.
The compatibility,
It's been 10 years since I
not
did an AMD.
not necessarily like with the processor, but like with all the peripherals, like because the kernel's different,
It's-
potentially the drivers. That's kind of
it's
what I feel like.
Far better than it used to be.
I have a Threadripper on my main workstation, and it's interesting sometimes. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I'm just keeping my finger on it so we know where it is.
These magnets are terrible.
The magnets are, but they're
They're weak.
nice. I know, but they're better than nothing. Where you had to be like a magician to do this. Oh, that way. I see. Okay.
And that's catching now. These are the screws.
Yeah, no, it's catching in the little bracket is
Yep.
what it is. I see. I was so confused. Cooler Master.
Well, because you're usually using a Corsair, right?
With Corsair, you just go, and it's all done.
Next time I'm buying Corsair.
This segment brought to you by...
All the things you learn, though.
No, I mean, I actually have no problem with Cooler Master, but I just...
Yeah, they make good. But, you know,
I've just,
Corsair makes some good cases, too. Is that what you're using in your cases?
I use Corsair cases a lot,
Yeah.
or Lee and Lee's. I have a thing for Lee and Lee, but then Lee and Lee they started making really cheap
They
junk.
did, so you don't know what you're
They
getting.
used to only make the top quality stuff, so it was like a Rolex of cases, but then they started making
Making
like,
cheap stuff.
cheap garbage. The first one I bought like that, I was like, wow, this is a Lee and Lee, it's so cheap, and then I got it, and I was like, wow, it's made of plastic.
So when I fix iPhones, I usually for my screwdrivers I usually have like just a magnet to charge them with, and then like would you?
Yeah, no, it's a good idea.
Right. You want to Paul? I brought one.
Oh yeah,
Did you?
can
Oh, sweet.
you can
We need to put a couple of bits on there, yeah. Because these do need to be recharged, you're right.
Yeah. That's,
Well, yeah, those are. If that's mine, it's really old. If that thing's probably 10, 12 years old.
Yeah, mine have a lot of mileage on them, too. Because we build most of our PCs here in the studio. I mean, Doug knows.
Yeah.
Every time he comes in, we're building something
all
new.
my PCs.
And then I build one and I put 256 gigs of RAM, and then Doug gets jealous
I will
and he
tell you the
builds one.
last commercial PC I owned. Anybody want to guess?
Gateway.
Chat. Anybody in the chat want to guess what my last
Did you go?
commercial PC
You went
was?
this way? Is that you went this way?
I actually had it flipped on around, but that'll work. It'll work like that. It's fine.
Like this, right?
Yeah, I think that's fine. Nobody's going to say anything. I was going to see if anybody commented. We had some comments coming, so I'm going to see what the comments
Okay,
are.
but now we're ready for thermal paste.
Yep. Oh,
And I
boy.
gotta remove
It's going to get ugly.
remove the stuff there.
Here, I can hold this for you.
Thank you.
I do have two hands, and so only one.
And then I need this.
Oh, they're still talking about the toolkits. My first and only commercial PC was a Tandy 1000.
Thermal paste. We got a little syringe Master Gel Pro. That's what it says on it. You don't care. It's fine.
Master Gel Pro.
No, you put it on the processor first, or the
we put it on the processor.
And how much do you put?
Okay, so now there's a whole bunch of, again.
Do I put a dot in the middle and one in each corner?
There's the 3 dots.
Or do I do 3 dots? Or do I do one big blob in the middle?
There's the smiley face. There's the 3 dots.
There's the Z.
There's the Z. There's the W.
There's a W too.
I'm going to suggest that you put 3 dots.
This is a big 3 dots.
Or actually, I tell you the one Lou likes.
I like the 5 dots.
5 dots.
5 dots.
Dice. So 5 on a dice. Yep.
Okay, we're going 5 dots.
Now Lou used a razor blade or a credit card first, and then a razor blade to make it so wafer thin that it was just you had to be able to see the writing on the processor.
I mean, can we go 7? I mean, can
I think you're good. You already got too much. You got more than enough.
That's okay.
If you're going to spread it.
For me and for the audience, explain like what the thermal paste is doing for.
Conducts heat.
So it makes a seal between this copper plate, which you can see there, that copper on the bottom of that pump. It makes a seal between that and the top of the processor, and it fills in if you do it right, it fills in any little imperfections in the top of the processor or the bottom of that block. Because if your block's got a bunch of little ripples in it, or it's got little holes or pits, all that stuff causes you to lose cooling power. And
with this liquid cooler though, I mean, you could probably get away without it.
And that's what I was saying earlier. If you hear me say the patch, a lot of these little things now come with just a little patch of thermal paste at the bottom.
Yes.
And again, Lou was adamant that he stripped all that off and sanded the block and sanded everything, and then he did his little magic W application with and. I mean, it mattered, but only in the event that it's like race car stuff. So this is just a regular car. It's going to be fine. You're not overclocking it. But when you were doing all the overclocking stuff and we were going to try to run the processor up to the absolute limit of its, where it's going to cook, I mean, that was how you did it, was you saw how hot it got and you back it off a step. If it crashed, you backed it off a step. And when you're doing that, you had to have it absolutely to the wall. So it better be perfect. And so all that sanding and wet sanding and everything was really important. But for these, it's just really not that big of a deal. I'm sure you can see a difference depending on the quality of the paste you put on there and the quality of the...
And the pattern that you put the paste in. I was reading post. I'm like, nah, I can't read this.
And there's
anymore.
massive superstitions around this stuff too. I mean, there's people that are fanatics
now
about
I need like
things. I don't need to hold that anymore.
I need like a big screwdriver though now.
A big one.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I had about the biggest one you had. Can you not just do these with your thumb?
You can, but I like to. I like to be. You
want them to be really stiff.
Here, hold on. No, use this.
I'm just checking to see if it fits.
Does it fit?
It does.
Can the graphics card have any effect on the heat going through that?
It absolutely can.
Well, ambient heat.
I mean, yeah, it's ambient heat. So because the graphics card may be sitting there really close to that thing, it can definitely cook it. And especially when you turn the case back up, the heat's rising onto the processor. It's one of the reasons I think these water-cooled radiators became so popular, because that, if you put a big graphics card in here, it's going to just be blasting heat.
And I don't like to turn these screws other than like when I feel like it wants to stop, I stop.
You definitely need to
You know what I
stop.
mean? I don't want to over crank it.
I'm going to warn you, you can break them. You can break that little piece of plastic on the back, and you can strip the threads out of the plastic.
Just a lot of things that can go wrong. Like, see, as soon as it feels like it wants to stop,
and again, there's people that won't use the screwdriver on them. So there's, some people are really adamant that you just finger tight and things like that.
Like I can't turn that anymore.
If you have to even begin to put pressure on it, you're getting it too tight. So it should just be to the stopping point. But yeah, so all that paste stuff is really very passé today, to me, unless you're doing overclocking or you're building really, really high-end stuff. Mostly either use the patch that's on there or use the 5 dots like Paul just did. Check your temps, and worst case, you have to take it back off. So one of the biggest things to test the first time you fire this thing up is the temps on the CPU, because if you see that CPU temp start at 26C and it goes to 30C and 40C and 50C and 70C, you're going, okay, turn it off, because something's wrong. I've either left the plastic on it, I did put the heat sink paste on because I forgot, the fans, the pump's not turning or something, and you want to turn it off where it burns the processor up, and then you end up ordering a new processor, sending it back to the Newegg and going,
RAM is gonna
I don't know, it came like this. And it looks like you set fire to a postage stamp or something.
I kind of want to do RAM next.
Do RAM.
Because
get the RAM in there.
I'm
ram it in there.
This has got a little angle that might save us because it's
Do
really
something-
close
do
to the.
easy. Do something,
Something easy now.
before you get into all these little pin headers and stuff.
G-Skill rip saws are like the bargain basement.
This is gonna not fit. I can tell.
Yeah, they're the bargain basement.
It's gonna be up
They're
against the
usually the
fan.
cheapest. I have had pretty good luck with them.
Yeah.
These are these 3,600? These might be 3,200.
Rip jaws.
And for Johnny, we did 128 gigs of RAM because that's the most you can put in LG A1200. Yeah.
I've used those rip jaws.
AMD will let you do 256.
Oh, they will.
I think in a non-Threadripper there is a configuration that'll let you do 256. For that much RAM, I would go Threadripper or Xeon if you're going above 128 right now.
Have you got
also-
you got 4 sticks or just 2?
Yeah, I got 4.
Okay.
So we don't have to go through the whole. If you don't have enough RAM to fill up all the slots, there's a certain configuration, certain slots you want to put them in.
and you have to look
see.
at the
There's 2 different
motherboard book.
colors here. Yeah.
And this motherboard doesn't have the double-ended pop, so it's just got a pop on one side. So you want to fit it in there.
Is that lining up?
You just have to, and then there's a little bridge.
Ooh, that's bad.
It's not going to fit.
Nope. That's gonna have to come off.
It is?
Yeah.
You mean it'll fit?
These hoses are blocking the RAM slot.
Well, you just
Are
get to
they?
turn it the other way.
Are they?
Sure.
Oh, it might. Well,
Come on, it's gonna go. It's gonna go. It'll
might
go.
It
I
might
think
go.
it'll go.
I mean,
Get the hammer.
It's close. It's the heat sink that's really the problem.
That I have a I mean,
No,
a lot
see,
of
that's
RAM
not gonna
comes-
go, Doug.
No, it's not. Let me see. I just want to see for myself.
I think the heat sink, the thickness of the heat sink on the RAM, I wouldn't try and seat that if I were you,
Why?
because it's not going to seat correctly.
I'm just checking.
Yeah, those hoses need to go on the other side.
No, it's not even touching.
No? You sure?
Hey, look at that. It's fine.
Okay.
We're right in there.
Ooh, did you hear those clicks?
Here
Well, will go in. Okay.
satisfying clicks of the RAM dropping
No, there
into
is
the slot.
there is like a millimeter or two in between the RAM and the side of the hoses. You know.
It's probably okay.
I mean, if it was
What's the
touching,
worst that could happen? Flames,
flames.
screaming. Sorry, Johnny. I know who's going to have this between their legs at their desk.
Right?
Not me. Why did all those flames start coming out of those fans on the top? It's like,
Oh.
well, this is so much fun.
Is this the right way? I don't feel like that's the right. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, no, there it goes. You should
But
hear
yeah,
clicks.
just
Clicks. Clicking.
My caution is that the clicking, but don't force because you can get them backwards, and there's a little ridge in the middle that's going to block them out. They only
Is
go one way.
One's longer than the other.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so you can look and see. So you can definitely eyeball it and make sure, but be sure it clicks because you want to make sure you got it seated properly.
RAM that is not seated properly will
Does
drive
not
you
work
insane.
properly, if at all. Then you can.
Your BIOS will beep and usually have a
Except
colored
you don't have a
light.
speaker in your BIOS anymore, so you don't get the good old.
No, but there's a lighting. It'll light up certain lights when it does.
Yeah,
The
I mean, a lot of
post.
like fancier motherboards have like LEDs on them and stuff that show you what's wrong or give you error codes. But in the old days, you had a little speaker on your motherboard, and it had a BIOS code that you could look up in the motherboard. It would go beep beep beep, and then you're like, was that 2 shorts and a long, or was it something else, or?
Yeah, now it's a series of LEDs.
Yeah, which
lights.
in some ways is harder, but
RAM doesn't want to doesn't slide in nicely.
yeah, it has to
I mean,
seat.
it seats okay.
You're good.
No, it seats okay. Just the.
And then you can always just, if you run your hand down the top of it, you can feel if anything's not seated because it won't be level.
Right. Well, nothing's level in this case. After we took
Get the
hammers to
hammer.
it.
We'll put that RAM in there.
All right, what are we doing next? That's
Okay.
the RAM.
All right, what do we got left? We got hard drives. We got to connect all our power stuff up.
We got an M.2 and
Oh yeah. And I can see the M.2 slots, I think, on here.
And usually they label a bag with the M.2 screws.
Hand me the motherboard book, please. I want to see where the M.2s go. Because a lot of motherboards, and this one's no exception, have multiple M.2 slots. and it's very important that you know which slot is which.
Right, because
And
only one is going to be a Gen 4, right? This
Yeah.
only has one Gen 4 M.2.
Do you have a Gen 4?
And I bought a Gen 4.
Ooh-wee.
7,000 megabits a second. Some claim
Oh my
7,500.
Oh, I got to find which port for that then. But sometimes you just have to read the motherboard manual, or you'll be sorry.
Certain points.
I mean, you know, you won't be that sorry. You just have to figure it out. But
I think this is a 2280 because that seems to be the most standard. PCIe 4.0, NVMe M.2. This is a Samsung 980 Pro, 1 terabyte. Because I think for exporting audio and video, the writing should be as fast as possible, and reading too. When you're scrubbing through a video, that's more
they're
RAM
not going to
too.
tell us which one's which.
Of course.
It just says M2_1 supports PCIe 4.4 mode, but it doesn't tell you which one that is.
Oh, it should tell you which one's.
It doesn't on this, at least not on that page. It may be somewhere else.
This one doesn't really have a heat sink on it. I know you said you had some that had a.
That was just that really high-end one. I'm not like Adrian and buy that cheap stuff.
Adrian buys a lot of cheap PC parts, dude.
He's like, why use 128 gigs when 8 gigs would do?
Like my nice headphones with my headset were fun. He's like, oh, just buy the Jabra at $89.99.
Just take the bare wires and attach them to a soup can. The rattling sound it makes.
There
Hey.
are two M.2 slots.
No, I'm looking. So they're labeled there. So that one's so the A one is labeled M2.2, but they don't have the other ones labeled on that picture.
Is it? Oh, these are. That's nice.
I'm telling you.
M.2 Wi-Fi, M.22, M.23.
Is there one called M.2_1? That's the one we're looking for.
I think I got it. M.2_1.
That's the one.
Yep. It is to the left of the PCIe.
Okay, so M2-1.
PCIe 16 slot, and then right
M2-1
there,
is
right
the
there.
one
That's M.2-1.
okay. That's A on this diagram.
2260, 2200. I gotta put a post in, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you do on those little screw holes there.
This is. I need to get me a pair of these, Doug.
I'm telling you, they're great, and they actually come. That set comes with a whole bunch of different magnifying levels. You can get everything from almost nothing to like, oh my God,
This is
burn
nice.
holes
Will
in
they
your
give you-
retinas.
what do you think the difference is between these two?
That's a good question. Is one taller than the other one? Yeah.
Thickness.
These are taller
Those are
than
thicker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're taller.
I think it's this one.
Yeah, I'll give it a try. Probably not that big
The
of a deal.
M.2 screws are the smallest.
The worst. The most hated of all time. Nothing is worse than M2 cards. Except SATA. And bent cases.
But they don't even give me a. See, I like the M.2 posts that have a Phillips head cut in the top, so I can use my screwdriver to put it in.
Yep, instead of your little old fingers.
I gotta see which one this lines up with.
Look at that baby. Oh my God. M2 freaks me out because it's like, you know, how much storage is on that M2?
A terabyte,
There's a terabyte on that.
right? Isn't that crazy?
My 10 meg hard drive I had was like, you know, it weighed 12 pounds and was like the size of a loaf of bread. And the old IBM ones we had at this university were like, boom, 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 boom. You know, it's like, there's a meg for you. Cost $10,000. I'm letting Paul do this precision work. I'm just the meatball surgeon. I stopped the bleeding. I'm gonna let Paul do all the plastic precision stuff to make you look beautiful
This
again.
really sucks. Piece of shit.
You can turn a light on those glasses too if you want.
Yeah, I might need to do that.
But we have to
Oh.
get. This is
I
where
don't
you
even
need.
know if that's the right size.
This
now.
is where you need children you can exploit. I
Where's
miss
the-
when my daughter was little. She helped me with this stuff so much because she has little teeny hands. I'm like, look, honey, you can put that in there, and she's like, oh, that is
How
so
you turn the
cool.
light on?
It's flip. Oh, it's kind of loose, huh?
How's that, Paul?
There it went.
Okay. Oh, that's much
Oh
better.
yeah, well, John. It's actually John.
Oh, it's like, wow, that's a really bright freaking
Paul's
light.
like,
Holy
wow.
shit.
Those two little LEDs lit up. You know, it's like John's got this like giant spotlight up
Now
here.
I feel like I'm tying flies.
Ooh, we can see Paul doing
Fly
real
fishing.
precision stuff now using the locking hemostat normally used for constricting the flow of blood vessels in the human body and or smoking weed.
I'm gonna need some after this, especially if this doesn't clear the capacitor when I turn the. What did you call these?
The hemostat?
Yeah. Is it going?
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah, it went.
Yeah, it went. That's one of the
Dude,
hardest
I gotta
things.
get me a pair of these, but now I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this off.
I've been meaning to get a new pair of those. Those are pretty old, and I really like them a lot.
That looks like it went.
You probably just need one, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's just one that goes on the end out there.
And then I gotta put this in
Yep.
on a
It
45.
just, and a 45, and then you push it down,
And I
which
need-
is the scariest thing you'll ever do. Because you go, I just paid $500 for this, and I'm gonna. It's just like, let me just push it down. Says the people that were banging on this with hammers a little while ago, but it's just like, if you can see, I don't know if you can see that if you're watching, but it's really tricky because this whole thing is tilted at a 45-degree angle because that's how you put them in, and then you literally have to push down on them to put them in place, and it's like terrifying because you're thinking, is this little tiny thin thing going to snap in the middle, or it's going to break off the motherboard? I've had a lot of bad experiences with M2 cards. They used to be very reliable, and they just didn't work. They only worked in certain motherboards, and there was a lot of grief with them. I'm glad Paul's here to do this because, wow.
This magnet does not.
My thing was, I don't know if if you could use magnets next to certain parts in there or something like that. Because like when I fix and repair phones, like LCD screen, glass, digitizer, all that stuff. Some of it you can't. Like the LCD, obviously you don't want to.
Yeah, I've never had any problem.
Close proximity with it, though.
I mean, these magnets are so weak. All this stuff's insulated to hell and gone, and there's nothing really that's going to be affected by a magnet anyway.
Yeah.
These
Solid state.
firmware chips are not affected by magnets anymore. If they ever were, old floppy disks, any kind of magnetic media like floppy disks and stuff's what get affected by that. But most of it's just a superstition.
That's in.
It's
We're
in
good.
there. Rock and
We're
roll.
good. I gotta get me some of
A
these.
terabyte, baby.
That's nice.
A terabyte of M2 lightning fast storage.
I like these.
I'm telling you, see, people make fun of me for that stuff, but that's like.
My dad uses those all the time.
Well,
Electrical engineer, soldering and stuff. He uses.
I saw them from a guy that was did hobby stuff. He painted all these little tiny things, and my uncle had them, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
All right. M.2 is in.
Okay, RAM is in.
RAM is
CPU's in. Cooler's on.
Oh,
Next up,
a 4 terabyte Samsung 870 QVO SATA 3 2.5 inch. This is only 560 megabits a second.
okay, yeah, we'll do that last.
I want to do it.
Oh,
okay.
well, it's just gonna. The only reason I'm saying this is because where you put it is kind of tricky.
Yeah, we might have to take that stuff
Yeah, it's
out.
like
you're
put
right.
it's on the other side,
yeah.
so it's the only reason I'm saying. I
That's
think we should
really-
do the power.
Really bad.
I think we should do the power now.
Yeah.
and get all our power stuff set up and our riser stuff. So we actually need to feed some wire now. Okay, I think we should set it up. I'm going to set it up. I'll take the bold move here. Oh, there's plastic.
So we don't need that. I'm just making
So-
a big pile of. You end up with a lot of trash.
Now, one of the gravest challenges of assembling computers is dealing with all this crap. Because now you've got to find out all this stuff and figure out where.
Oh, this is my least favorite part. I don't know. We say
Yeah,
that every step of the way. This is my
I hate
least
this,
favorite
oh
part.
God.
This part really sucks. It's really just a series of tasks that really suck to build a computer. I guess that's why it's so satisfying when
Yeah.
you get it built. Do you need the crowbar? No. Okay.
Not at the moment, but keep it close at hand.
Yeah. No. It's not going far.
So see, for instance, these are the headers. So I don't know if you can see. I don't know where your camera shot is. I'm on one camera. What's actually being aired, John?
This one.
Is this that one?
Yeah, this one.
Well, so what I've got here is Johnny zooming in on. These are called the headers, and these are all sorts of. These are a lot simpler than they used to be. But you got your reset switch, your power switch, your hard drive LED, and your power LEDs. So these are the ones that go into the motherboard, and you have to find the motherboard header and plug these in. And the reason Paul's saying this is something everybody hates is because they're really teeny, and it's really hard to figure out where they all go.
You know, I like just this as my power switch, because all you have to do is you take your handy pocket knife and you just jumper those two pins
There
together,
you
and
go.
magically it starts.
A little solder, you're all set.
Magically delicious.
This is a USB 3.0 connector, so you've got that. And we've got all these different connectors and fans and stuff that we're going to have to feed up through here. So we're going to feed this through, and we're going to feed this through. And I'm probably going to do it in a nice, neat way like some people would. Some people do really good cable management stuff. I do not, typically. Paul does.
Yeah, maybe a
Paul
little.
is much more-
I do a little, not a lot.
And, okay, I don't know about that stuff, but let's take a look at this real quick. And what we got is these things can be pulled up through here like this, and like this, and like this, and I just pulled the gasket loose, but so what?
Don't blow a gasket.
And you got to find where these things plug in, and so
What
this
is this?
one,
This is another
that's a
Cooler
lighting
Master
controller, I
thing.
think. So I'm looking for my USB U3223260. These should all be the same, so I'm just going to pick one and plug it in. And that snapped right in there. And that leaves you with Mr. Header. So Mr. Header is a drag, always. Now you've got a bunch of fans here. Usually it's labeled, like you can see, you probably can't see it, but it's labeled panel, and there's a bunch of teeny tiny text printed on the motherboard right there. But
I usually look in the manual.
Well, no, if you look in the motherboard manual, it will usually tell you exactly what to do in this case. But we got to get our power
The problem is it doesn't do it for you, and actually plugging them in is the worst part.
Oh, it actually tells you about that Aura header too, and the RGB
That's a lighting
header.
controller
Yeah,
system.
that's what it is,
Aura, yeah.
Clear CMOS, CM port, front audio. Where are my headers? Come on, it's just a panel header. Here they are. So then you
We
got
got more fans to, because you get the 3 in the front.
Yeah, they're just going to go to power, or you could even connect them directly.
Wait, we got this thing. This says cooler mount. This must have come with the
Let's
case.
see here. Okay. You took my glasses off, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to put my glasses back on. I will never be able to see this.
What's an ARGB? It's weird.
Usually the way I do this is I look at the motherboard and see which end it starts on, because you can't trust these
Yes.
books very well.
Correct.
And once you figure that out, you can go in here and find the section where they have the headers. And let's see, somewhere here we should have them. There's lots of headers here. System panel header. Okay. And so it looks like the HDD LED and the power LED are right here. So they're on this end of things. And they're stacked.
Oh, sorry, is that distracting?
Now it smells like I'm working on Lou's computer. Okay, so we got these things here. Yeah, it's addressable RGB for making patterns. So we're going to pull our header pins here. Thank you, Dimitri. And I'm going to find my power switch right here. So the power switch is going to be, where's the power switch? The power button is what it's called. So the first one on this, the power LED is across the top. The power switch button is across the next 3. So, all right, power switch.
Doug, we forgot the most important part.
The beer.
Yeah.
We probably got more done because we forgot that. Glorfeld Building Techniques. Ed Clark's Cave Creek Chili Beer. So for some reason, we always drank that when we were doing
That's
guitar.
pretty good. Sierra Nevada Wonderland Nectarine Ale. It's tasty.
All right.
What is a nectarine? Is it a cross between a peach and a tangerine? Can someone Google it? Never mind.
I can't Google anything right now.
You're doing great, Doug.
Yeah, until it doesn't work. HD LED. It's the type of peach.
A nectarine's it's a type of peach?
Oh, like me.
Oh, you're peachy. All right. Not how I'd describe you. More salty.
Savory is how we
Savory,
put it.
yes.
Much more savory.
Sometimes sour.
Yeah. HD LED. I think I did them backwards. Oh no, I got this.
I can't believe I never thought to have one of these little things.
The HD
computer
LED.
building.
HD LED, which we put on there, right? Is it the power? Did I put the power LED on there?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know why you need that anymore, but we'll put it on there anyway, just for the sake of putting it on there. And
Pastrami.
after that
Yes.
one, we got to go the reset, which is the next one. All right, reset. All right, I won't swear those are right, but if
All those do is jumper 2 pins together. It's just a fancy way of
it
jumpering
is, yeah,
pins.
you're absolutely right. It's nothing, and it won't cause any harm if it doesn't work correctly.
No.
But
No, because there's no current. They're
It's just
a contact between
and
two
you won't be able
pins.
to turn your computer on is the only problem if you don't have. So there's those things connected.
So you got power reset.
Is this one mine? Or is that
Yes,
yours?
yes. The hard drive light, right?
Yeah, the hard drive light, which probably does nothing. The power switch, the power LED, and the reset switch. So those are your front panel connectors so that later when you have your computer running, if you want to turn it on.
You used to be able to correlate like the spinning of the drives with the light. Like you could
No, there's a
hear.
hack.
Like
There was a hack where they were doing that, where the read light was
Mm-hmm.
flickering, and they were exfiltrating data at a really, really slow
Oh,
speed.
yeah.
By you looking
Right.
through the window, and they were causing the drive light to flicker with binary. So they were.
And now the drive. How does the? I felt like it was very tactile to hear the drive spinning and see the light, but now the hard drives don't make any noise. At least that we can hear.
Yeah, so it's just the data. If there's any data on the path on the bus,
Right.
I don't even know if it does anything anymore. I don't even usually hook those up, to be honest, because they just don't do much. But they are useful if you're trying to see if something's going on.
Right.
The power connector, and we got 3 fans. We have these 3 front case fans.
Where
that
are
need
the
to connect.
cables for those 3 fans? Is
I
that,
just didn't pull them through
Oh,
yet.
right here.
No, that's your
No?
pump. That's the ones for the pump.
Oh, are they like these white?
These white things here is what goes with that, and I don't know what this stuff is.
Wait, did this come with the? Oh, this is a different one.
What is that one for?
This is for the fans in the front.
Oh, to control your.
We got
front
another
fans.
one of this set of things.
Ah,
You know what I'm saying?
not really, but I'll let you fix that.
Because
All
we
that-
still, the one on the inside is still there for the. Okay, it's the same
Yeah.
because the case is Cooler Master, and the liquid cooler is Cooler Master.
So it's all
This is for the
compatible, yeah.
case
Same reason like
fans.
Corsair, all that stuff is designed to work together. So if you put weird parts in there, it doesn't work right, which is a way to get you to buy their stuff.
Right. And what was?
So that's for your front fans,
What is this? Is for your front
Front audio.
panel?
front audio.
Is that audio? That's audio.
See, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Put it through and I'll tell you. That is audio.
All right. And you got the USB header in there somewhere, I'm assuming.
It's already plugged
And
in.
what are these right here?
What are what? This is just a power connector.
All right, hold on.
Or I'm sorry, no, this is the audio connector I got in my hand
What
right
was-
here.
What's this? Give me that.
Audio. You just pull it back out.
All right, hold on. I just gotta.
Which you
and what
built
was
in.
this?
That is USB 3.0 for the
Did you
front.
connect that already?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I wanted to hear that one was USB and you had either connected it or not.
Yeah, it's up. It's rocking and rolling.
But now I messed up the grommet. Doing all that. Fucker.
I hate those things.
Piece of crap.
I know. They're just total garbage and they don't work very well. And trying to get them lined back up is
Oh my
another
god.
one.
I didn't even
You
want.
have to fit it in the little groove
Oh,
thing
that's
there.
just terrible.
Yeah, I usually just pull them out. Don't
So,
worry about it.
did you connect any of these fans or?
I did the white ones. The white ones are not connected to anything.
But what
Oh
is?
my God, the
how
whole
come that?
grommet is
Oh,
short.
I see. There's 3 data and 3 power. Okay, I got it, Doug.
Well, the one is to control the lighting. Yeah,
This one, Doug. That just needs power.
that just needs power.
Needs power, Bubba. power that one
All
up.
right, I have to find a power header for this 4-pin
And I'll do the
fan header.
fan
I'll look
control.
around. I see one that says chassis fan right there. Sounds good to me. That stuff's usually just drawing straight power, so it's no big deal.
So this is very similar. There's 3 power connectors for the fans and then 3
Yep.
control things. And now I know what.
Maybe that plug does that plug
No,
into the other? Oh,
this-
that's another one.
check
yeah.
this out.
There's your controller.
So
for
you
that.
got a controller for that, which this one looks like it just controls brightness.
Yeah, so it's just color, or yeah, brightness, color, pattern.
And this
whatever.
one looks like it would only go. I don't know if everyone can see that. Where are we? I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, only one of these goes into here because this is like 3. See how it's
Yep.
got like 3? Yeah. So this would go in here,
There you go.
and there should be an arrow lining up, right?
Or either that, or it's just something so simple
There
it
you go.
doesn't matter very much.
And then what is this? What does that say? 4 gigabyte. If you have a gigabyte motherboard, this would connect into the gigabyte motherboard. We have an Asus motherboard.
Yeah, so that's probably means.
And then this is power from, what is that? What is that?
What is
Does
that
that say something on it? It says something on it. Where's your, I need your alien headset. Hold on. I freaking love this thing. Wow, I can actually read
my
small
work
print
here is
now.
done.
12 volt ground, 5 volt ground, 3.3 volts.
That must connect to something else because there's not a motherboard header for that, I don't think. At least not on this motherboard.
Where does this connect to? It looks like a,
There's probably
What is that?
either an adapter or a header.
is that
for
a
it
data
somewhere.
connector or no, power?
Oh,
I
it's
just
SATA.
read.
It's a SATA connector. You just get a solder power connector.
Oh,
So that's what it's going to
Doug, you just need a SATA power connector for this.
Yeah, so you just plug that into the power supply and you're good to go.
Here, I'm going to feed this stuff to you through here.
Okay.
you grab that?
I have it.
Okay.
It's in my hand. And it will take a nice little SATA connector here,
Yeah. Okay.
and it plugs into that. You just have to find the right one,
Right.
and you're good to go. Don't use a data connector for SATA. Use a, if you do it wrong and you break the whole thing.
Well, I didn't almost just break your glasses. I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't just break your computer.
I don't see. I'm not ready to commit to a zip tie right now, but okay.
Yeah, well,
I'm not
that's
ready.
later.
I'm not ready for that kind
You
of
can do
commitment.
that off
That's-
camera.
Yeah, it's not very exciting.
That's what interns do, is cable management. Make this look nice.
Dylan's here. Dylan's going to do the cable management for
I
us.
know,
Thanks,
I saw Dylan
Dylan.
over there. Oh.
You think we got any more power cables, or can I zip tie those in? Because these are going to be.
You can, well, for here, that are coming from that space, you won't have any more coming that way. You'll have some come through these other grommets. But
Well, you know
you
what?
say
These
here,
are,
if you-
yeah, these are good.
I
Okay,
think they're fine like that.
that's fine. Zip
I
tie
found
them
that if
later.
you zip tie stuff in,
You
it
end
just
up cutting it and then
struggles, tries to get away.
Oh, but now we should try and put the 2.5 inch.
There you go.
I don't know where your camera is right now.
Put it up on top. You can see it. The little tray, the shuttle tray for the 2.5 inch
You're
drive.
gonna make me stand up. Okay, that's fine. Right, because we gotta do the 4 terabyte. So what I did, ow, was bang my knee, and then, but what I did was, we talked about this. We talked about this. We had in the M.2 with the Gen 4 at 7,500, 7,000 megabits a second read-write speed. And that was going to be for the operating system and when Johnny's editing audio and video, right? And then we had this 4 terabyte,
Just storage.
still fast. I mean,
Yeah.
and we're dinosaurs, so we remember much slower, but 560 megabits a second, read-write 4 terabytes.
Where you put your
So
storage.
if you're not working on something, you dump it off to your 4 terabyte, Then when Johnny goes, oh, I need that media to go edit a commercial or a promo or a clip or something, you copy that back over to the fast drive. So this is just like your slower storage.
Yep.
This is the drive I would also back up.
Yep.
Right? If I got something new, make a copy of it on the 4 terabyte, edit it on the main one, and I would back this 4 terabyte up to my NAS. I try and never have data in one place like that, because even though we have a Drobo NAS, we had a massive failure once, and even though there's redundancy, we still had a massive failure. So I try and put storage in these that I can have multiple copies of things and have multiple copies of the same file. Is what you don't want a backup drive unless it's a RAID. Even if it's a RAID array, I'm still
You want multiple copies.
jaded after working with technology this long, Doug. I don't trust it.
Don't trust it because it'll come.
Because it'll fail.
You.
I mean,
yeah,
it's just going to fail.
Assume
all drives are eventually going to fail.
Assume everything's going to fail. At
Very
some
true.
point, everything is going to fail. So you better make sure you got a plan.
Now, you were talking about the gigantic hard drives
that
of
thing.
yesteryears. This is 4 terabytes.
And it doesn't weigh anything.
It's like not, I mean, it's slightly larger than a credit card.
It's like when you pick up a
It's
dead
just-
bird and you go, I would expect this to be heavier.
Yes.
I had to pick up a dead bird yesterday.
Did your cat get to it?
No, it was just a random dead bird laying in my driveway.
Now we want the data and power to go out this way.
So probably
And
screws in the bottom.
this actually like lines up in the bottom. I've had so
Yeah, it
many
should.
that like don't.
Oh.
Oh wait, what does this say? Push.
Is it non?
Oh, is that
no screws,
so
or-
you can put a larger drive in there? Look
Oh,
at
I
that.
guess so. You can shrink it down a little bit. Yeah, I guess.
I thought it would shrink down to the. I guess
Yeah,
not.
it
But now
just
I need
screws in
I
from the
need
bottom.
screws though.
Usually hard drive screws, just regular hard drive screws work.
Are they just regular?
They usually are. You may want to put a grommet on it, but it's plastic, so it shouldn't matter.
Which
Those-
ones are these the flat ones?
Just try one and see.
Are these? Does this fit? These are hard drive screws. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There you go. You need me to hold.
You know
it?
what, Doug? You sit there and just have a cigar. It's all right.
That's what I was doing. I can hold it for you though.
no,
where
I
you
got
put-
it.
I know, but where you put the screws in, I can hold it.
Oh, there it is.
It'll be it's actually it's so light that it's like okay.
Yeah, there's nothing to it. But I don't know if these screws
I don't
are
think
long
they're
enough.
long enough.
No, not long enough.
You're gonna have to have a bigger screw.
So where are the? I mean, these are for expansion cards. That's not hard drive screws are usually a smaller thread.
Yeah,
Right?
See if there's a package of screws that had some grommets and stuff with it.
Well, it looks
I swear I thought I saw some of the plastic grommets somewhere.
like. Would you mount
Oh,
it
they're
this?
in here.
Would you mount it? You wouldn't mount it this way, would you? Because look at the inside of this, how it's got a divot
there's
there.
nothing to screw on there.
But it wouldn't. Would it make sense to go this way? No, Doug. I think I can do it this way. Because
No, it should be in the tray. You don't think it's in the tray?
I think it should be in the tray, but whoever designed this case obviously didn't think
Oh,
so
they went
because
on
he
the
didn't give us
outside.
screws that are long enough.
Okay, well, put it on the outside then. As long as
Yeah,
I mean, you only got one drive.
I don't
and
understand why they can't have a.
there's one little drive.
System
and-
76 did a really great job with that part of their build. I mean, the system that they have for mounting
Yeah.
2.5-inch drives is just amazing. It's just like the clips screw in, they give you extra screws, they give you extra rails, and they slide in the top. It's the
Definitely,
best
if you got a lot
design.
of drives, there's cases that are better than others. Of course, you got one little 2.5
See,
drive. It's
this
not
goes
really a
in
big
here.
deal.
This goes in here perfectly fine. That's so weird. I don't know why they have to get so wonky with the mounts for these things.
Yeah. I mean, those are really trays for 3.5. I'm surprised that a lot of cases have like a mounting point just for 2.5 drives. It's just like a permanent, but I didn't see one, so.
It looks like they only give you screw. They give you screws for 2.
We can beat one out in the case here if you want. Just beat me a nice little dent in the case. And set
I
it
think we
down
got
there.
that already. We might have already beat a spot.
You
in
could
there.
use my technique and just duct tape it to an
No,
empty spot. I've
but
done
you're
that
right.
before.
Sometimes you mount your 2.5s over here on this side. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know. Sometimes they're just there's a little
that's not
place
the-
to put them. No, that's okay. Just put it
That's
where you
not the
put it.
case with this case.
Yeah, exactly. Solder that baby right onto the metal.
It's not going anywhere.
It doesn't even move, so it's like,
All right.
I think you're good to go there.
And so what? This slides in right here.
So then we need some good.
Look at that.
We need some good old-fashioned power then.
Now we need some good old-fashioned power.
Yep. Motherboard, big motherboard cable. And
One thing about building computers too, your cigar goes out a lot.
yeah. And we got some SATA for your little drive there. We got some SATA power here. And so I think we could probably lay this back down.
I mean, they definitely could have given you a place to mount a 2.5-inch drive on the back here.
I'm gonna feed. What is this? This is my SATA. Oh, this is actually SATA to connect to the power. All right, so that SATA goes in there. Now the bad news.
You gotta get a shot of the carnage that exists
Carnage.
to the right of the table. All the empty packaging they've been throwing over there to make room. There's some carnage because like we don't need this anymore. What do you do with your extra thermal paste, Doug?
I keep it to play with.
Do you eat it like you eat paste in school?
Why not?
Do not ingest thermal paste. You hear us joking. Thermal
do
compounds.
not eat thermal paste.
This is the Master Gel Pro flavor.
Tastes like victory.
It would not taste very good.
I would not think that it would taste very good. Okay, this is going to be bad. Very bad.
So like if you had a car and your car was like a GeForce GT710, would that be like a Ford Fiesta?
Be like a Panda Punto,
like a Pinto?
a Peugeot Punto.
Pugo?
A Peugeot Punto.
Like what's a car analogy?
A Robin Reliant.
I don't see, but everyone's not as old as you, Doug, so they don't remember those vehicles.
A Robin Reliant was a 3-wheel tiller-controlled vehicle in England. It's like a golf cart.
Yes, this would be a golf cart compared to a RTX 3090, which you can't get. I mean, unless you want to pay a lot of money.
That's like a Hellcat.
Yeah, that's like an 800 horsepower. This is a low-profile video card, which I like, especially when we do our server builds and we're using rack mount cases that don't need a serious video card. This video card's not that bad. It gets a lot of, memes online about it, but it's, it's fine.
We'll put a 3090 in there one day.
You know what, though? This is mini. No, it's a regular HDMI. I thought it was going to be a mini
my
display
God.
port or something. It is a regular HDMI, a DVI, and a VGA.
This is hard. This part right here.
You're doing great, Doug. Doing great.
Hey, there's a switch now, an eco switch down there.
Oh, yeah, on the power supply.
It's too bad you can't get in from the other side. There's a like wall there, which is keeping me from putting these really stiff cables in.
That case is mangled. My concern with the case, though, is it's not going to sit level on the floor because
No,
the
it's
feet
not.
are pushed in.
You have to beat it some more.
You're going to have to save some of that cardboard we're going to throw out. You're going to have to shove it under the legs, keep it level.
I'd say beat a hole in the floor. That'll help.
Oh, that too.
Oh my.
Or you can just take the hammer to the other legs.
Who's
And
got small hands?
what's the matter now?
Oh, I just can't get this down in there.
I keep hitting my knee.
I think we may have to loosen the power supply and tilt it up to plug these in.
I told you that was going to be a
I
problem.
know, you did.
This thing comes out.
It does. I mean, if you just loosen and take those
No,
screws.
it's these three.
No, that didn't come out of there.
It's got screws, though. Look, see? That's a screw.
Yeah, but that's maybe the
That's a
drive
screw.
rack comes out, but
Yeah.
I think if we just unscrew the. No, let me unscrew
No,
the
you're
power.
right. Yeah,
if
no,
I
you're
unscrew
right.
the
You're
power
right.
supply,
You're
it's
right.
gonna be
You're right.
easy. Then we can plug all these things in really quick, and that's the easiest screws to take out.
Well, you say that. There are also screws holding in a power supply to a case that we beat the snot off with a hammer. And that was after the UPS driver threw it down about 3 flights of stairs. Yeah, that's what I'm
No, it's
saying,
like
dude.
Pounded.
But
We
like-
didn't do that either. That was like that. I
It was,
swear.
believe it or not, it was worse when we first started. But
It was worse.
Doug, that's not going to work.
Yes, it is.
Oh, you're going to take it out completely?
I'm just going to tilt it.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted to slide it out that
No.
way. I was like, no, that's not.
No, I can actually see, for one thing, and two.
Do you need the space goggles?
No, it's not that small. And I got my motherboard here. So I got my CPU cable, CPU number 2, which goes down there. And then we got Mr. Motherboard here. That goes right there.
We need a keyboard and a mouse that's at the desk where we usually build computers in the keyboard drawer.
Alrighty. There we go. And that's going to go right about there, I think.
Through the grommet.
Through the grommet. Okay, then we can... Do we need anything else back here? We got SATA.
The fan?
The fan header?
Or is there a spot on the
anything else we need to-
motherboard?
There's no SATA, but I've got extra SATA.
SATA.
There's all kinds of SATA on the other side. I already plugged that fan thing in anyway.
No, but I mean power for the SATA drive you're going to need.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'll probably just use a separate cable for that since there's so many cables. I do like these modular ones, without a doubt.
Modular is the way to go.
Yeah, it's
There used to be a
definitely
really big price gap, although I found pretty much you can get
anymore.
a modular
It's about the
one,
same
yeah.
difference. Yeah, there's not a lot of change. And this just gives you a lot of options. It'll make your life easier. All right, so there's your hard drive connector for your power, which is now powered. So your drive is powered up.
Yeah, while you got it on the side.
Yeah, I was going to say, anything else you want?
Now, you always get one with the L and one without the L.
Oh, Christ. Yeah, I hate
I mean,
these
do you want
things.
to? Yeah, I don't like the L
Yeah, I don't like the L.
because I always plug it in and then it's weird. Like
agree.
running it.
I'm going straight.
All right, go straight, not the L.
Let that kinky shit. I'm sure there's some advantage or disadvantage, but all right. So we got all that. Tuck this in here, and you're ready to put your power supply back down. Oh, except for the video card have any power on it?
No, read my mind, dude. I was just looking at this. There is no power.
Alrighty then.
Remember, it's a Ford Fiesta. It doesn't need that much gas.
There you go. You don't need power on that thing.
TV.
All right, so now you can put the power supply back. Good luck.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, I'll let you take that challenge on. It's unhappy. I think it popped or something again.
I'm gonna flip it.
Oh, stand
This
it up.
way.
It'll be easier, yeah.
You know, for having a really crooked, broken-ass case, this turned out fairly well in terms of getting everything.
Yeah,
in.
I wasn't sure we were going to be able to put this thing together because it was when we
Right?
first saw it.
When I
was
first
like,
saw that,
"Ooh,
I was a little
doomsday."
nervous. Actually,
Very,
could you
very
hold that?
bad. Yeah, sure.
This is the black on black. There it is. And then, did I get one in that?
And how much was this computer, Paul?
$2,200 roughly.
So, yeah,
2,200 and change. I put the PC part picker. Yeah, I almost said PC part licker. I mean, if you want to lick the parts, you can. I
we
don't think
licked
it's
it
gonna,
before the camera started.
I don't know that the screw's gonna go.
You sure that's where that goes?
Ah, yeah, there it is. $2241.92 after $20 in mail-in rebates that I did not mail in. Because nobody mails in the mail-in rebate. Why
what
do they
they're-
do that?
that's what they're
Just give me
counting
my
on.
$20.
They're not gonna. Yeah, they're not gonna. They're counting on you not doing that.
I only got 2 of these screws back in. Is that going to be a problem, you think?
Perfectly fine with me. I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, because I'm not,
I
you
think
know
it's
what?
okay.
I'm not going to force it. I
It's
mean,
fine. Just tighten those other two
you know
up.
what it is, though? The bends in the case holds it in place.
Yeah, it's like the case is so damaged, it's not going to move anyway.
It really isn't going to move.
And the cables are bracing
Yeah,
it
it's
on the
not going-
back side.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. All right, so you can lay it back down on this side now, I think.
Go ahead. Yep. Because we got to do video card.
Yep, and we got to connect all our stuff up here. So we got our motherboard power, which is right here. I kind of guessed wrong about where it should
That,
go
you
through.
know, it's one of the parts I hate is plugging that thing in, dude, because it is such a hefty cable,
Yeah,
and it requires a lot of force on a piece of electronics. It's very fragile.
Yeah, it's a really bad design, actually.
It's terrible. I feel like there should be
Because you're always pushing on the motherboard, and
Yeah.
I always thought they should have risers like or
Underneath
spacers
that,
like right around that thing, and they never do. So yeah, always be careful with that because you can cause problems there.
you can create a short if you
You can.
bending and
You
pushing
do all
and pins.
kinds of terrible things.
Short is the worst.
You got a favorite SATA port, or you just any and every? You just have one drive; it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Well, because when you connect in so many things, one of the SATA ports actually gets disabled if you. I have to read the manual, Doug.
I think it'll be all right.
You don't think that M.2 is taking up a SATA?
It could be.
I don't remember.
Boy, I hope there's nothing wrong with this. We have to take it all back apart again. Okay, I plugged the SATA in. I plugged the motherboard in. You got your fans plugged in. I've got all that crap. Headers are plugged in. Motherboard power, CPU power. All that's left is put your video card in. Put your video card in.
My device in SATA mode is installed in the M.2 socket. This SATA6G_1 port cannot be used. That's only if you're using M.2_2.
And we're not using
We're not
that.
using that,
Yeah,
so any SATA
you're
port
good
will
to
work.
go.
Yep. Video
Okay.
card.
Video card goes in. Okay, you got to do two things here. You got to take the riser out. Is it going in there, right?
Yeah, I'd put it in that one. That's the PCIe 16X slot. Oh wait, is that going to work if we put an M.2?
Is it going to conflict with your M2? You need the other one?
I'm reading. No, I think I think I researched this with
I don't think.
board.
I think it's fine.
I think both will work just fine. I think it's if you want to go beyond that.
Yeah, it's
if
when
you
you
want to
start
have
adding,
another
yeah.
M.2 that's PCIe
That's where I
4.0,
got in trouble,
or you
yeah.
want to have another card, you need a different motherboard
Yep.
that supports that, and they're wicked expensive.
Yeah.
So I went with, for Johnny's build, I went with
And
one video card
this
and
is-
one M.2 that
This is what I
uses
would call El Cheapo.
El Cheapo.
But
Hey, it's functioning.
it exists.
You can buy them.
can buy them,
and
that's
they're not
right.
price gouged.
But you got to figure out how to.
You know what though? It's a good card to hold you over
There's
until
nothing
you
wrong with it.
find the video card you want
I'm fine.
and have it become available.
What the hell? Oh, it's got a cover on it. I was like, what's wrong with this? It's
Look at
got
this.
like
You can disconnect for lower profile.
oh,
It's one of the reasons I like that card when I'm doing server builds and I just needed a display adapter, because you're not playing games on that. I mean, maybe solitaire, but anything beyond solitaire, it's not going to handle it.
that's right. And just don't turn the resolution on solitaire too high.
Solitaire in 720 is totally fine.
8-bit solitaire. Video card is in, and the whole thing just came apart.
So is a screwdriver.
Yeah, the end of that.
Holy shit, are we ready to power this beast on?
Oh Christ!
You really don't do any cable management, huh?
Hell no!
That is the messiest build.
I got computers been running for 10 years. They're fine.
This is ready
Cables
to.
every which
But you know,
way.
this one's ready to rejoin the board collective right now.
Put your goggles on. You ready to go?
we
I'm
need a-
Locucius.
We need a power cable,
Fire extinguisher.
fire extinguisher, a sledgehammer.
I don't know. Throw a ferret or something in there. Just keep it in.
We need that keyboard,
Which beer is mine? Oh my God.
the one with more in it.
The one with more in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We need a monitor. Yes, we need a monitor.
The monitor's right there. So
Keyboard. Yeah.
Here's
I got
the keyboard.
HDMI.
Where's the
Oh, it's got all
keyboard?
kinds of little dust covers over there. That's kind of.
Okay. Where's the
Kinda
mouse?
neat.
Where's the keyboard? Where's the monitor?
Power.
And we need power.
Yeah, the one cable that you probably the most of anything, and it's, you can never find that cable. You always have one, but you have to go look for it. And then you find the box where there's 173 of them in there.
We have a box with 173 power
everybody
cables
has
in it.
it.
Yeah.
Every case, I still have, and you can't throw them away because they never change. So it's
Well,
like,
you know what we really need is a Windows thumb drive bootable installation.
Oh, yeah.
We need that.
That's for another show. You have to do a different webcast on.
Yeah, I don't know how we're doing on time.
Now we're at like 3:40, so you know,
Jesus.
it's been a while. You get lots of good memes going on Discord now with fire extinguishers.
We need a fire extinguisher.
Somebody said that
The
cable
IT crowd.
management hurts me in my soul.
Oh, it does.
My work here is done.
You want to?
Cable management's more like
You know what? I mean, for me, cable management's like somebody that's really obsessed with it will come along, and then they'll fix it.
me.
So I don't have to do it. So yeah, I used to have. In fact, that guy was named John. Hi, John, if you're out there.
We're all alike.
That John was the same way. He would like come in and go, "Oh my God, look at this server room. This is a disgrace." And I'm like, "Yeah, you know, what are you gonna do?" And he's like, "I'll have to fix this before I can work here." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Okay.
you know, what are you gonna do?" I'll be at the bar.
Did you plug the monitor in?
I did.
Can you just slide that monitor towards me a little bit?
Power supply
Thank
plugged
you.
in as well.
Woo-wee. That's cool.
All right. Are we ready?
I'm gonna stand over here. So
Power supply is on. I don't see any
power
light.
supply is on.
I don't see any lights though. Shouldn't I see a light?
The motherboard may not have any lights.
You
Does
know
it
what?
have any LEDs?
I don't think it
Oh, I
does.
do. Wait. Nope.
No.
That's just a shiny
I don't see anything. So you'll want to push Mr. Power button when you feel lucky.
Where is
power
the?
stop right here.
Oh, this is the top.
This is the top. Fans
Ooh,
turn.
Fans come on. That's wow. Where's your? There should be some indicator lights.
There are. I don't see any indicator lights, but I'm seeing all the fans turning. You sure that motherboard's got any indicator lights on it? There could be a little LED somewhere, but I don't see any.
Usually on Asus,
Well, they often have them, but let's look and see. Mr. Motherboard.
might be underneath the.
Oh, well, it could be
radiator.
hidden, yeah. I'm
Oh
sure-
wait, no, we got a BIOS.
Hell yeah.
Get the out. That's not supposed to happen the first time.
loose.
It's alive. So we've got an Asus Prime Z590, 11th gen, 3.5 gigahertz. That's 128 megs of RAM it's counting at DDR4 2133, which is not correct. It sees both drives and says that we've got a new CPU installed, and press F1 to continue.
We'll proceed to download Ryuk ransomware from the
Hey.
home office.
Check it out. It actually worked the first time. I don't believe it still.
Yeah, I'm still not.
Advanced mode.
I'm amazed that all that worked. We didn't
That's
even bleed any.
Crazy.
It's like the blood sacrifice has not happened yet.
crazy.
Somebody's going to have to cut their hand.
Memory frequency is off. But
Well, you can set that.
yeah, but if you set it, like on mine, if I set it to 3200, it doesn't recognize it. And then I have to do the push the button thing and reset all the settings. Yeah.
Wonder why it's reading the incorrect frequency.
Do we have is that a Windows thumb drive?
Look at this. Dylan steps in and
Sweet.
says, here.
Thank you.
It's like surgery.
It says Windows on it.
Paul says Windows, plugs it in. It's Ryuk ransomware.
Wow. I'm impressed. It's impressive.
I keep
We probably
forgetting
should
this is
update.
live.
We should update the BIOS, but
I keep forgetting this is live.
Right.
we should
I
update.
have to say, I never built a computer on live stream before. That's
that was a
definitely weird.
first.
I built a lot of computers.
The BIOS build date says 4/6/2021.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty new motherboard.
Yeah.
There's probably only been like 9, 10 updates since then.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Looks like you're good to go.
That's crazy. It's not supposed to work.
I
the
can't
first
believe
time.
this worked, yeah. That's amazing. I guess with both of us here,
I think that was.
And we didn't have a lot of drinks either. That was the Glorfeld dilemma. Was like, how many gin and tonics do we have? And I'm like, I can get this cable in there. I swear. Hit those pins with a hammer.
And it sees all the fans too, although it doesn't see the AIO pump speed.
Sometimes that's the case because your AIO pump speed is plugged into your other controller, so there's nothing plugged into that
Where's
header.
my CPU temperature though?
Well, that's a good question. Where is your CPU temperature? Go back to the main.
Oh wait,
go to
temperature
the
monitor. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
25 degrees Celsius.
25.
27.
It just went to 27. Oh God, hang on.
Stop talking. This was when you
Yeah.
started talking.
It's because those damn cables.
Poor cable man. No,
20.
that looks good.
27. When it's on 72, call me.
Boot configuration. Like I want to tell it to just boot to the. It won't let me change the boot order.
It won't?
Like in other BIOSes, I can go, hey, go boot from this device like right now. It won't let me do that.
Oh, that's weird.
Isn't that weird?
There must be some way to
Let
do
me
it.
get to the boot menu. All right. Well, let me reboot it and see if it'll boot off the thumb drive.
Well, it should. Since there's no other operating system.
It should figure that out on its own.
Ah, the modern age. Sam said, I can't believe it worked.
It's not supposed to work the first time like that. That's
The cable nest is insulating the CPU and driving the temps up.
it's not rebooting though. So.
I can tell this person
No, there
with
it
their
is.
cable thing is the person that's gonna be like they're like they got the coldest CPU on earth. Like I've seen those on those overclocking boards. And they're like, mine's only on 14C. And
Look,
like,
it's booting Windows
oh my God,
from the thumb drive.
the curse is lifted.
Wow.
Windows booted from a thumb drive even,
I don't have a network connection, but
and then Windows is gonna go. Oh,
I don't have a product key. This is going to join a domain.
there you go. Just go crazy.
Pro, whatever.
But we built it, so
Yes.
you should see the server room. Yeah, you should see my server room too. Sam's saying you should see the server room if you think these cables are bad. You should see mine. I know mine gives people anxiety too.
I know. Sometimes I walk in that server room, man, and I look at it and I close my eyes and I turn around and I'm like,
Apparently, if you stare at the giant nest of cables in mine, you can actually see the future.
I love how when it creates that 100 meg partition right there, it says type system.
Yeah.
It's actually the EFI file system, and it's just FAT32.
Yeah. Well, how about that? There you go. I mean, that's kind of the build, really. Yeah. No blood, which means it will never work properly. But
Which way are these fans spinning?
oh, we
on.
didn't find out, did we? They're sucking.
You sure? I think they're blowing. No, these in the front.
Oh, the ones in the front. The ones in the front are they
I
blowing?
can feel a little air coming out of the front.
No, they're sucking.
I don't know.
We're all sucking here, but that's still okay. Cause
No,
you
they're
got-
sucking. Did you see that?
That's what I said. They're
And what are these? These are blowing.
No, they're coming in. Are they? No, they're pulling in. I can feel it right there.
Adrian, use a piece of paper. Great idea. Right? Oh, a napkin, even better.
I like using cigar smoke better.
I like that you can switch the directions on them. That's really cool.
They are sucking.
Mm-hmm.
And these are sucking?
Mm-hmm.
I think these should be blowing.
Well, that's what you wanted.
Don't we
but
have
you-
a switch for that?
Yeah, you said there's one of those things reverses them, and you gotta push it, and the whole thing's gonna go. Poof, and that's just like the end of it. Like, oh, this was the button that should not be pushed. Did they reverse? No. Yeah, I'm not sure the suck blow button actually works. It may be a blow suck button, or possibly a double suck special. Adrian has that used a piece of paper.
Nope.
No, that's this one.
Oh, okay.
This just changes the color.
Yeah, that changed the color.
I like purple.
Ooh, rainbow. That's
Rainbow?
nice.
Yep. Uh-huh. Yep.
Taste the rainbow?
Roichi Biff.
Excellent. Hey, I'm just amazed it worked. That's a rarity.
Windows is like already installed, by the way.
Well, yeah, when you're doing Windows on those M2s, it's like poof, and I'm like, damn. In fact, you're just being limited by the read speed on the USB.
5hack said you may need to flip the AIO fans then, because exhaust would be better for that setup.
Yeah, for the radiator. Yeah. That's why I like the fans in the front pulling in, and I like the radiator blowing out. Maybe the BIOS will let us flip the.
No,
So what I like
it
about
will
Windows
not.
is it doesn't tell me to remove the thumb drive. Linux tells me to remove the thumb drive.
I think Windows will
Or does it
bypass.
tell-
Windows knows to bypass it once you've installed it.
Does it tell UFI to bypass it?
It used
must.
to tell you to take it out, but you don't have to anymore. It's going to get upset because you don't have network, though. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll. I haven't tried to install it without a network in a while.
I don't have any.
That is cool. Oh, it has an option. I don't have a network. It automatically installs some weird key set because you don't have a network. It's like, oh, you must be located in. I'm not going to insult anybody. Grand Fenwick.
I don't want security questions.
We get to watch Paul's security questions.
Dimitri said totally use the
Yeah.
I don't have a network option.
Like what?
Dimitri said totally use the I don't have a network option.
It's better. It doesn't install as much crap.
That's true.
It's the only way to do it without using.
It's definitely massively faster to do it that way.
Is it?
Yeah. Just because it doesn't do any updates, it doesn't do anything now. You get stuck doing that stuff later,
Yeah.
but you know, it's not going to put any patches on or anything like that. So it's just whatever's on your flash drive, which could be 5 years old or something. Is it
I don't
Windows?
want Cortana.
Cortana says hi. Hi, Paul.
Fuck you.
Are you staying for PSW or
No, I have to go.
Okay, no worries. I was just making sure. I figured.
Yeah, I think you said Patrick was coming anyway, right?
Yep, yep.
Yeah. So I thought you had another host.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no, we're good.
Don't turn off your PC.
even with an M2 drive that fast, it may take several minutes
Can you
Windows.
imagine?
unpacking.
I could have installed Linux twice in this amount of time. This might take so well. That's good. I can't believe it worked the first time. Still, that just
What's the biggest one you ever
blows me
installed
away.
from floppy disks?
At least a dozen, 14.
Yeah, I think there was like 24 floppy disks for like OS2 or something like that.
I did OS2 on floppy disk.
Yeah, I think we had OS2 on floppy disk. We had a giant stack.
That
And
was
they weren't
awesome.
numbered or something like that, so we took them all out of the
Some
case.
trash on the floor over here.
Yeah, you should zoom in on the Christmas morning
There's some carnage over there. I don't know if you'll be able to
Yeah.
see it from that angle.
That's all part of
little bit of carnage.
my neat install service.
Yeah,
It
Johnny's
goes
going to
along
have
with
to
my
do the cable management on it.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that to you OCD types.
Yeah.
You can jump in there and twist tile.
Hey,
those
look,
things.
Windows is installed.
I will tell you though, just to be fair, I don't ever do cable management or even put the sides on the case for a while. Because,
Yeah.
like a half hour from now, you get all those cables all neatly bound up in these nice little Japanese knots that you've done with, bondage cords and made them all look pretty with designs. And then, some smoke comes out of one of those capacitors and you're like, well, we're taking her all apart. So let it settle for a little bit and then you can get in there and go crazy. But in terms of performance, to me, the cables don't matter so much anymore. You got really good air circulation in these cases. The cases are designed, they're not those solid cases. They got mesh all over the place.
They look well insulated.
You're not overclocking. This thing's not going to get hot. It's never going to get hot.
Yeah, it's one of those things like with the clear side. Like if you're going to be looking at this thing, like, oh man, I love looking at this.
Yeah.
You probably want them a little neat.
But to me, it's a style thing. Then it's more than used to. It was a big issue because airflow circulation was interfered with by cables. And when it was so critical that the air go from here down there and out that way, it mattered so much. But anymore, it's just not that big of an issue.
It's awesome. We're up, we're running, Windows is installed.
That was the goal.
Turn it over to Johnny now. He can do the cable management and configure Windows. To be
Make
honest
it his
with you.
own.
Yep.
Beat the dents out of it.
Yep. So I install my programs.
I think
Sorry
that-
about the dented case.
I think this one should be called Thor because of all the hammering.
Yeah, except they already called the server name
Oh.
Thor.
In Ragnarok.
Well, what's Thor's hammer called?
We did
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir or something like that.
Mjolnir.
Odin.
Mjolnir, yeah, you shouldn't call that. You can't call that Odin. Come
Yeah,
on.
Odin's like for our oldest computer.
Once
or
we put a
something.
3090.
Wasn't Odin like
you can call it
1,000
Odin.
years old or something like that?
Odin? He's
Yeah,
older than that. He was like,
right?
yeah, he was like the original god.
That's
or
why the
something.
stuff that happened with Hela was like literally ancient history.
Yeah.
Could we call it Mobius?
You can call it whatever you want. How about that? It's your computer.
Variant.
It's white. It's
white.
blazing fast. You can
It
call
can
it
take a
whatever you want.
beating.
Once we get a
It can take a beating.
once we put a 3090 in there, we'll call it Odin.
It's awesome.
Sweet.
I love it.
All right. So
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for joining us. That was so much fun.
Hopefully that was fun.
It was fun to me.
I can never. Mjolnir.
Mjolnir, yeah.
Mjolnir? Is that how you say it, Dimitri? Mjolnir.
Yeah. That's Thor's
Mjolnir.
hammer. Drexel Spivey, a beat-up white boy from True Romance. It was Gary Oldman playing that drug dealer named Drexel Spivey in True Romance. You get all those scars and stuff.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was very fun. I enjoyed it.
It's nice to have lots of help. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for joining us.